Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33, I'm going on my break.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. It is round 10 Black Diamond Cup action. My name is Ryan Webster. Joining me today is Nathan Timon from the Newcastle City Footy Club. We've had a few substitutes in recent week. It's good to have you here, Nathan. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Yeah, for those that would have just seen on the screen, that was a tribute minute silence there dedicated to Phil Walsh, who tragically passed away, the Adelaide senior coach, earlier in the week. So really nice gesture there from the Black Diamond League for that one. Just about underway here at Newcastle #1. You'll be able to notice the City boys, traditionally dressed in their navy blue, today have their pink footy jumpers on. It is a Pink Ladies' Day here today for the footy club. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Nathan?
Yeah, so it's a great initiative by the club, organised by myself and a couple of the other committee members. So basically, we're just trying to raise as much money as we can for the BCNA. It started a couple of years ago when I started raising money to help Croft do his trip over to Perth.
Yep.
It's just been continuing.
So that's BCNA. That's the Breast Cancer National Awareness, isn't
the
it?
Breast Cancer Network of Australia.
Network
so
Australia,
the Pink
right.
Lady.
Okay, sensational. So just about underway here at Newcastle #1. The Blues 6-2 in 2015. It's been well documented. Cardiff, they're 0-8 going into round 10. They're in a real rebuilding phase. We know that the Blues, on the other hand, or the Pinks, we might call them today, they're right up and about at the pointy end of the table. Only Terrigal Avoca sit before them. It's going to be Regan Bowe doing the ruck work. He's an undersized ruckman going up against the giant Jacob Dawes. He's one of the premier ruckmans in the competition. Cardiff will be right up against it today, but they know when these two sides come together, there's no love lost, and it's competitive regardless of where the sides sit on the table. So, later game here today, Nathan, 3 p.m. first bounce. Will we see the lights come on?
Oh, I reckon at some point the lights will come on. But
Maybe half time, I think.
Yeah, probably half time.
It'll get dark pretty early this time of year, so 3 p.m. kickoff, just about underway here at Newcastle #1. I'll get a tip from you, Nathan. The Blues, you think will be too strong?
Yeah, Blues too strong, about 45 points.
45 points there, and it was Dawes who got the first tap of the day. It's going to be Sheldon with his left foot. The Hawks will be going towards the right-hand side of your screen. This venue, Newcastle #1, used for both the sides as their home ground. That one goes down towards Cochin, and Cardiff doing all the attacking early, but it's a strong tackle laid there by Wilmot. We'll see a throw-in. Deep forward pocket here for the Hawks. So, Hawks last week home to Terrigal Avoca. They suffered a convincing loss. They'll be looking to bounce back today. As mentioned, they're always a chance when playing Newcastle City. There are a couple of sides that have a long history together, only down the road from one another, and Cardiff would dearly love to pull a massive scalp. So it's going to be a free kick straight away. I'm not sure what that was for, Nathan.
I think it was blocking in the ruck, so it's
Blocking
going the way
ruck.
of Cardiff.
Okay, so the skipper, Nick Cochin, who we saw play a little bit down back. He was everywhere last week against the Panthers. I like to see him up forward, though. He's going to have to kick a handful today if they're going to get over the Blues. So it'll be the skipper. First shot on goal for the match, Cochin. Just walks in. He'll kick from probably about 30 metres directly in front. Makes no mistake, the Cardiff boys are up and about. First goal of the day goes to the Hawks.
And that goal there was brought to you by Wilson Security.
Wilson Security, fantastic sponsor of the league. All your security needs, call 1300 Wilson. They've been on board for a while now, so thank you very much to them. And also to Bar TV, who do all the production work and bringing us game of the week in the Black Diamond AFL. So well done to Cochin there, first goal of the match. The best on ground today will receive a $20 Subway Morisset gift voucher and play of the day, which will be decided by Nathan, the man sitting next to me. They'll receive a $50 voucher to the Das Hundhaus restaurant, a German-themed restaurant chain across Newcastle. So a bit to play for today, apart from the 4 points, that's for sure. Comes out to Scene. He'll get on his left side and go forward for the first time for the Blues, but a great defender's mark there taken by Vukovic. He was dearly missed last week, and you like to see that early from a defender, but it's been turned over. A right foot banana is kicked towards goal, but it goes out on the full. You love to see that from a defender, not taking the game on, but backing himself in there to take an overhead mark. And it was Vukovic. Didn't play last week against the Panthers. Very important part of this Cardiff side. So Haig takes a mark there. Deep back, goes to his left side, switches play open. Down towards Sheldon. So Sheldon at centre wing. Back in towards the middle of the ground. That was Pratt. Cardiff's just doing well here. Holding possession. He said, please, Dugan. Not wasting the footy. Goes down towards full forward again. Wheeler laying a tackle there. It'll be a ball up. Good early signs here for Cardiff, Nathan.
Yeah, no. Good to see him moving the footy quickly. And
Yeah. So Regan Bowe, who'd be one of the smaller ruckmen in the league. It's been mentioned a few times. If you can find a good ruckman in the Black Diamond AFL, it'll go a long, long way. So Bowe again up against Dawes. Dawes winning that one, not getting it too far. Maybe been Koshin again. Goes down to his brother Nick, and Nick went for the little left-handed handball. Already kicked a goal, as we know. Ball sort of bobbling around. Tight defensive pressure early. Baker's in there for the City boys, who's hit a fair bit of form in recent weeks. Ball up again. Third man up down there was Carroll for the Blues. Just a kick there to full forward. Oh, strong. Well, I thought it was a strong mark there. It was Riley Lang who went up. Umpire hadn't signalled, so it's going to go back to Lang. Led to no avail. Blues will have to go back and take this one again.
contorted himself in a weird way there, Wheeler. No, Lang, sorry.
Yeah, he nearly took a great mark, didn't he? Just kept his eyes on the footy, leapt pretty high, ended up going through for a behind, so it's...
Almost play of the day.
Oh, yeah, early as well, mate. It would have been a very early call. So 6 plays, 1 here. This is Wheeler out of defence. Just went over the head there of Scene. Little handball over the top came from Jolloff in the 30 for Cardiff. Oh, you didn't see him coming. It was Thompson who'd laid the tackle. Holding the ball every day of the week. That was on Monk. Advantage was played there by Jolloff. I don't know if it was the right decision. He knows it. Kick down there. Missed Hugh O'Neill in the 18 jump of the day for the Hawks. It was a bit of a wasted opportunity. Jolloff played the advantage. Teammates looked around at him and said we could have done better with that forward thrust. Anyway, another throw in. It's been all attacking for Cardiff early here at number 1. They lead by 5 points. Out come the Blues. Scrubby kick once again. That went in the Haswell direction. He's just dropped it cold, Haswell. Holding the ball every day of the week. Good decision. So for the second time in 2 minutes, Josh Jolloff lays a strong tackle. It was Emerson Monk who came out of half-back. It was a bit of a scrubby kick there from the young Blue. And Jolloff again wants to use it better this time, but once again it's a mongrel-looking kick. Wheeler's down there. That's Mark playing in the back line. Went in the Keast direction. There's Haswell. He's sporting some pink zinc as well. He got crunched by Jack Pratt. Kicked it down there into the Wheeler direction. Beg your pardon. It's Knight playing in the back line for the Blues. So good use there from the Hawks. That was Jeremy O'Brien by hand. Scene lays a big bump. It goes out on the full, so it goes back to Haswell. A lot of talk, a lot of heat in this match early. So Mitch Knight's playing at centre half back there for the Blues. My apologies. So Scene chasing that one, as is Sheldon. That's a good contest. 2 very good players there. Timmy Sheldon of late's been playing more of a defensive role across half back. A little bit going on, Nathan?
Just a little bit of push and shove, but hopefully nothing too untoward.
Yep. So Josh Wheeler's there. He goes 100 miles an hour. He's from 40 onto the left boot. And, gee, it's on here on the half-forward flank. It's Jackson Monk who's having a bit to say. And, geez, Norton and Spriggs of Emerson Monk, beg your pardon. Michael Norton and Emerson Monk. And it's on down here on the half-forward flank.
It's on for young and old.
So the game stops briefly.
As you stated in the beginning of the game, fierce rivals
here.
Jeez,
he's throwing left hooks. Oh, you don't like to see that. That's terrible. Wilmot was throwing lefts, and it is an absolute melee on the half-forward flank. There is no doubt here the umpires. So the yellow card there, it's going to be Pratt sent off the ground for the Hawks. If that's the only send-off, I'll be very, very surprised. This is horrible scenes. scene down there with Nick Koshin now having a bit to say. But the Bar TV boys have got that all on camera, so there's not much you can get away with anymore in the Black Diamond League. 10 years ago, you might have got away with that. So just the one player sent off at the moment. It was Jack Pratt, the 21 for Cardiff. But I'm sure I saw a few more left hooks going than just the one bloke. Without naming too many names.
Yeah, without naming names, there should have been a few more sent off there.
I think so. And then, anyway, that's going to be the end of it. So just the one send-off there. It was the Hawks player Pratt. It was a yellow card. Now, can you tell me what a yellow card is? Is that just a 10-minute send-off?
I thought it was 20 minutes send-off.
20-minute send-off. Okay, let's go with that.
You could replace the player, I think.
Okay, so we think we can replace the player. We might get Nathan to look into that at quarter time. Anyway, Dawes has got the footy. He goes to his skipper in Mitch Knight. Little handball over the top. City here in attacking forward. That was Sam Edwards who went to full forward, and it's a good grab down there taken by... Anyway,
Abe Gibson.
Abe Gibson it was. Okay, and Monk, the recipient at full forward for the Blues, who had a bit going on just a couple of minutes ago out on this half-forward flank. He's going to line up for a shot at goal and try and kick the Blues first. So 6 playing 1 here at Newcastle number 1 Sports Ground. A lot going on in the early stages. Just 9 minutes played. Hits the post. So 7 playing 1. So it's 1-1 to Cardiff, playing just the one behind to Newcastle City here on the Wilson Security scoreboard. As mentioned before the game, no love lost between these two sides, but that was certainly up the upper end of the scale in terms of physical aggression early. So if you've just tuned in, Jack Pratt's been sent off about 7 minutes into the game here for most probably striking. There was plenty of it going on the half-forward flank for the Blues. This is Payne at centre half forward. Thompson came through, tried to lay a bit of a bump. It wasn't to be. And it's well done here to Metcalf in the 11 for the Hawks, coming out through centre half back. And then it's a clever give. And away they go here. So they're out on the wing now. This is Thompson. Thompson kicks into full forward, and it's a lovely kick. It just gets on the bounce down there to Dalton, who can kick goals. We know that. Play on, just dropped it. Wasn't held, though, either. Little give down here to Hillier, I believe. Hillier goes to ground. Got a bit of the Stephen Milnes about him. Hillier snaps towards goal, but it's no avail. Jacob Dawes watches it go through. Have you seen the game thus far in terms of the footy, Nathan?
In terms of footy, it's been very entertaining. Quick play from either end of the ground. Very tight contest. If it continues like this, should be a ripper of a game.
Exactly. That's Nathan Tyman next to me today, doing it all. He's selling the raffle tickets. He organises the proceedings for the Pink Day with the Newcastle City Footy Club. So, well done, mate.
Sporting the pink hair too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly right. He's got the pink hair. The full array of hair colours in the commentary box, let me tell you. Thurman up there seen it. He did pretty well seen. Got a little tap down there to Mark Willer. He's paid a high tackle. I think that's pretty lucky there for the Hawks. It's Kyle Walters in the 24. He's the recipient. Down there's Hillier again. I like Hillier. He's a good little player. He's got a bit of the Puopolos about him. Goes down there trying to punch forward. Down there was Hugh O'Neill. Hugh O'Neill, one of the better players for the Hawks in a big loss last week to Terrigal. So another free kick's going to go the way here of the Hawks, and it's going to go to that man Hillier. It must be said Nathan's been pretty solid early. He's getting a little bit of the footy. He looks up and about. Notice today Davey Grant isn't playing. The recipient of the play of the match last week. Just goes to the hot spot. No mark could have been taken. Just bobbles around a little bit there. Doing a full 360 down. There was Liam Carroll, and he's pinged for holding the footy. Red hot decision there by the umpire, and it's important. I probably do mention the umpires at some stage. In the field, we've got Jake Bateman, Stephen Bloom, and Jason Crookle. The boundaries are Nick Hickson, Cooper Williams, and in goals we've got Roy Reichart and John Sullivan. But it's going to be a holding the ball decision now going to Thompson. So Trent Thompson comes in, just chips it up. That's a goal. Goal there to the Hawks. They're second for the day. And it's 2-1-13, leading Newcastle City 0-1-1.
And that goal was brought to you by Bar TV.
Oh, Bar TV, don't we love them? Doing all the production work. It's a strong operation. We're coming to you from the grandstand today at number 1.
I particularly love their coverage of the uni games. Have participated in a couple of times.
Oh, there you go. Good
love
stuff, boys. So back in the middle we go. A bit going on in this game thus far. If you've just tuned in once again, it's Jack Pratt who's sitting on the pine. Sent off with a yellow card for a discretion about 5 minutes ago. So back in the middle we go. It's Rowe up against Dawes doing the ruck work. Sheldon in there. He was probably held a little bit too long, and it was paid by the umpire at the opposite end of the ground. So Timmy Sheldon, who's playing in the midfield today. They've got their big guns in the middle of the ground, but just being led to the ball there. And it's a good grab there taken by Liam Carroll, who was pink for holding the ball not too long ago. This is Jack Gillingham. Half-back flank for the Blues, or the Pinks. Kicks towards the centre wing position. Aaron Seam was outnumbered and did pretty well, forced a draw. Boundary throw in. 14 minutes gone. It's goals early to Koshin and Thompson. Baker that time sees the ball go out of play. Beautiful conditions for footy here in the Hunter Valley. Probably a touch under 20 degrees, hardly a breath of wind. Number 1's in tip-top form. Very scrappy early. Tight conditions. We expect this from 2 of these sides. A little bit of the heat's gone out of the game since that earlier altercation we saw. It seems to be Cardiff who've probably come out the better side afterwards, Nathan. They've got more avenues to goal this week. We covered their match last week against the Panthers, and they, has to be said, they had hardly any targets. They were missing some players through injury. Vukovic and Metcalf are out. But they look good this week.
Yeah, no, they're looking in top form at the moment.
Yeah,
but
they look up and about regardless. So through the middle of the ground go the Blues. Getting a, that's O'Malley. So he sells a little, beg your pardon, it's Gillingham. Jack Gillingham in the 69. It was delivered to him from Monk. Gillingham's in there again. That's O'Malley. Both of them sporting the top knot. It's going to be a high tackle now. Paid to O'Malley. So the umpire's quick on the whistle. Switcher plays on. They're going to go to big Jacob Dawes. And Dawes going wider once more. This is Haswell. He just dropped a mark he probably should have taken. Trailing him there's Haig. Pretty good tackle there, and it's holding the footy against Haswell. Red hot of the umpies. Didn't go back behind the mark, but he actually let him play on. And the Hawks playing this running game early. It's good to see from them. Away they go again to full forward, but it's an average kick on that occasion, and Josh Wheeler dropping back, taking an easy defender's mark. He's going to switch it out to this far side, and it's Emerson Monk in the orange boots. Had a fair bit of action in that melee earlier. He goes out of centre wing. Just no talk there from the Blues boys. And it's Cardiff who get the ball forward through Kyle Walters. They had to do better there, the Blues. It was young Jack Crawford, I believe, who... So McMahon now. Jack Crawford then, who probably lacked a little bit of talk with his teammate. Haswell chose not to fly. Scenes down there. As is Vukovic up from his normal fullback position. And it's another high tackle. Umpires paying free kicks left, right and centre here, really stamping their authority after the blue. So it's Vukovic. He started really well. Kick to centre half forward, just a bit of another nothing kick, and it's Riley Lang there. The kick came from Nick Maddock. Lang took an easy defender's mark. That's a risky kick though in the pain direction. It was well done there to Emerson Monk, who's had a fair bit of the footy already. Goes in the Courtney Knight direction. Last time we covered him, he kicked 8, I believe, against Kalani Vale up at Singleton.
And took that screamer of a mark too.
He took a hanger that day, absolutely right. This is his brother, the coach with the footy. So Mitch Knight goes to centre half forward. Strong mark there. They're probably a slightly bigger side. That was Keast. Gives it off to O'Malley, the representative player. He goes to full forward. Oh, and it's well done there. Might be Metcalf, I believe. Gives the handball off to Sheldon, and they're away the Hawks again through centre half back. This is Hillier. He's got toe, but he's actually beaten to the ball there by Baker. So Baker will want his left side. He goes to that side. Wheels around. Little cute kick over the shoulder. Dropped there by O'Malley, and here go the Hawks again. They're going to move it through the middle of the ground. He goes to Adlington. Adlington gets it now on the right boot. Snap it, goal. Jason Adlington hits the post. Cardiff really up and about. They're vocal down on their bench as well. They've got a few more fans here today. The Hawks, there's no doubt about that. And it's 14 playing 1. You have to be surprised, Nathan, early.
Yeah, no, very, very surprised. We're expecting a good contest today. But,
Dalton in the meantime hits the post again. He's hit the same post that Adlington hit probably 20 seconds ago. Sorry, Nathan, you were saying?
Yeah, no, we were expecting a tough, tight contest, but yeah, Cardiff have really blown the Pinks out of the water.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show you, regardless of where you are on the ladder, when you play your local rival, you can really rise to the occasion. So Riley Lang again, this time elects to go straight up the middle of the ground, and that's a lovely kick to Sam Payne. Another one of these big-bodied midfielders for the Blues. Goes out to Haswell. It's a little bit wasteful there. Surprises me how many sides choose to use the wings here at number 1 when the centre corridor, it's only 2 kicks to goal, Nathan. I don't know why these teams elect to go out so wide, despite Haswell being...
It's a short ground, but it's got wide wings.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, just both sides we've seen do it already so far today. So anyway, might be the perceived pressure. Who knows? Once again, it's a bit of an errant kick in there to centre half forward for the Hawks. And it was Baker who just threw it on his left boot. Payne took a juggling mark. Let's see how they use it this time. Goes for Sam Edwards. Sam Edwards wheels around onto his left boot and goes for Knight, Courtney Knight. Couldn't take a mark on that occasion, and it's terrific work once again from the Cardiff backline. That time Zach Metcalf, who has been sensational early. Gee, they missed him last week. And Metcalf coming across and putting in a great spoil there on the champ, Courtney Knight. Running second at the moment, Courtney Knight, and the goal kicking. He's led by John O'Goulay of Terrigal. Dawes gets the arms up. This is Sam Edwards again. He's from 40, out on the full. Shades of Josh Wheeler 10 minutes ago. And nearly into time on here in the first quarter. It's a 14-point lead to Cardiff after what's been a pretty eventful first quarter, Nathan.
Yeah, no. Newcastle City just a bit wasteful with their opportunities, and Cardiff just the cleaner disposal going forward.
Yep, absolutely right. So away they go again, the Hawks, right out to the half-back flank. No one in particular that they were kicking to. It was Slick Hands. He's been pinged for a throw. Nothing annoys you more as a footballer when you get pinged for a throw when you think you handballed it. It was Sam Edwards on that occasion, who's had a fair bit of the foot in the last 2 minutes. So Cardiff would dearly love to keep the Blues scoreless here in the first term. Big pack of players down here on the wing. Norton gets a free kick there, I think for a high tackle. Once again, I'm not sure it was there. Trying to assert their authority. It was against Josh Wheeler, so Norton on centre wing. Goes in the middle of the ground. Gee, it's a risky little kick. Went for Sheldon. Sheldon was good enough to force a draw and got a little handball out there to Jolliffe. Terrific tackle there, Pat Gillingham. And holding the footy there against... it is Jolliffe. So Gillingham switches play now and he goes out to Haswell. Gee, does this well, Connor Haswell. Just finds space across every part of the ground. Evaded a tackle there from Adlington and it goes back to Pat Gillingham. They use these wings again, Newcastle City. Can't see who's that. Is that Jackson Crawford out there, Nathan?
I think so, but he's being brought back.
So he's going to be brought back there. I'm not sure if it was for a free kick. You can hear the Cardiff bench barking orders. They're right up at about. They're really up for the challenge today. It's great to see Pat Gillingham again. He had the ball at centre half back 30 seconds ago. He goes to the middle of the ground and for...
Paddy McMahon sneaking forward.
Yeah, McMahon took the grab. I think he was going for Nick Dempsey, but Paddy McMahon, I'll get you to talk him in here, mate. You know his kick better than I do.
Yeah, no, as he walks down the runway, he's a pretty decent kick at goal. And that's straight through the middle.
So well done there to Paddy McMahon. Kicks the first goal of the day for the Blues. And early on here at Newcastle number 1 Sports Ground, it's Cardiff. 2-3-15. They lead Newcastle City 1-1-7.
And that goal was brought to you by BLK.
BLK, Beyond Limits Known, the official apparel supplier of our footy league. Also supplying the footy jumpers for the Brisbane Lions, the Suns, I believe, the GWS Giants, Richmond Tigers, a handful of AFL clubs. And
our lovely pink ones out there today, which
okay, so
will be sold at auction.
So sold at auction. Who's got the most valuable jumper? I suppose it's whoever kicks the most goals or has a good game today.
Yeah, or it could be best on ground.
So back in the middle of the ground, it's Jackson Monk. Little chip kick goes for Mitch Knight. Just working their way back into it here, the Blues. Wearing the pink footy jumpers today. It's Ladies' Day here for Newcastle City Footy Club. Oh, and well done there, just sitting in the hole for the Hawks. He's going to get a free kick. I can't see the player. We'll come back to you. I might get Nathan to check his footy jumper number. It was very courageous play down there at fullback. But here go the Hawks again. So it's Bo who's doing the ruck work. Taking mark down there at centre half back. He's one of those athletic ruckmen. Goes down to Hillier, who's been lively in the first term. Michael Norton tries to beat 2 tackles, and that's holding the footy. It was Jeremy O'Brien back there who jumped in the hole in front of Courtney Knight. So well done, Jeremy O'Brien. I wanted to make a note of him. He did very well. This is Jack Gillingham. Gillingham goes to full forward. It's all Cardiff. Oh, but good fly there, and it's another free kick. Gee. Yeah, I think the umpiring's probably going a little bit overboard here early. I can't see how that could possibly be paid a mark. He had it for a split second, went straight to ground. But anyway, Cameron Keast, he'll kick from the 44. Keast, it's a lovely looking right foot drop punt. And I think that's 4 posters, Nathan.
Yeah, 4 posters this afternoon, which are pretty unheard of.
Absolutely right. And it must be said, Jack Pratt's still sitting on the pine. So looks like the 20-minute rule might be correct, mate. Oh, and hands in the back. The umpire's having a lot to do with the game here early at number 1. Well done there, taken by Wilmot. That was a grab taken at centre half back. Another one of those kicks to nobody, really. Jackson Monk for the Blues. Cardiff desperately manning up. Called to play on's Monk. Dalton lays a little bit of pressure, but it's a classy kick there from Monk into the middle of the ground. He's a good user of the footy. Keast, the athletic ruckman, goes out further wide. This is Crawford. Found a little bit of space. He's got ample time to use it. Crawford elects to kick straight away, and it's a good kick. Might be Andrew Wilmot, is it? And another free kick here from the umpires. I'd love to see the free kick count here early. Not saying it's overboard, but if they're there, pay them. But there is a lot going on. Goes for Spriggs. Good grab taken by Spriggs. He played on. Emerson Monk laid the tackle. Bo's there. Ah, and a high tackle. And 50 metres.
50 metres paid.
Through the footy back. A little short. Liam Carroll there will be the recipient. And the... after a free kick's paid for a high tackle there against Bo. Did you see it?
Yeah, he kind of had his arm around the back of his head as he tried to push him away.
I guess so.
So I think it was there, and the 50-metre penalty was definitely
all right,
there.
well, if you think it's there, mate, I'll back you in. So anyway, Liam Carroll. He'll kick from 35. Hits it beautifully. Carroll kicks a goal for the Blues. They're up and about.
Great leg by Carroll there.
And it's just 1 point the margin here, deep into time on the first quarter.
And that goal was brought to you by Belmont 16-footers.
Belmont 16-footers. Great venue up here in the Hunter region. Back to the middle of the ground now. Fair bit going on in this game of footy. Cardiff, after dominating the first half of this quarter, getting pegged back a little bit.
They say momentum's a big thing in footy, and Cardiff just couldn't capitalise on that momentum. And
well, to me, there was a 50-50 contest down here on the wing. It was a free kick paid to the Blues for a high tackle. It was sloppy, the 50 metres. That was definitely there, so I'm not criticising that, but I think sometimes you just got to let the game go. Unless the free kick's 100% there, the game of Aussie rules would be in a lot better state if the game was just to let flow a little bit. Anyway, that's my opinion.
Completely agree.
Boundary throw in centre wing. 26 minutes gone. The siren can't be far away. Cardiff here. They'll go forward one more time. It might be their last opportunity. Oh, well done there. Taken by Riley Lang. Playing on Kyle Walters down there at full forward, and it's well done. So plenty of time here for the Blues. They're just working it out of the back line. This is McMahon chipping to centre wing, and great grab there taken by Vukovic, who has been one of the better players on the ground here in the first quarter. That one definitely there.
McMahon needed to go with the 6-iron there, not the wedge.
Yeah, it just wasn't a great kick, was it? Had no penetration. Here's Bo. I've liked his work early in the ruck. He's probably losing the taps, but he's been super competitive. And here's that man, Pratt. So Pratt's back on the ground. You're right with the yellow card. It must be a 20-minute penalty. Goes to centre half forward. Good contest there given by Lenny Pratt coming into the side today. And it's Spriggs who got a little handball off to Pratt. Pratt did well. Straight back into the actions, Pratt. Goes to full forward. Bit of a nothing kick again. That time he was after Jeremy O'Brien. And that man again, Riley Lang, who's had heaps of it, goes out in the Gillingham direction and he'll get there. Jack Gillingham.
Fumbled.
Oh, fumbled. Back in it goes. Trent Thompson, the goal kicker. Goes to centre half forward. It's an average kick. Got to the bounce for Wilmot. No, it didn't. Paid the mark, so Wilmot goes out wide again. So back to Gillingham. Newcastle City here playing a little bit of tempo footy.
It's Crawford again, I think.
So Crawford. Centre wing for the Blues. Drills a kick down there to Haswell, who's had a fair bit of the footy out on that wing. Elects to come into the middle of the ground, and you love that kick as a coach. Certainly when it hits the target anyway. So Wilmot through the middle of the ground. That kick was partially touched. Quarter time. That kick won't count there from Wheeler. And quarter time at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. It's Newcastle City. 1 goal, 2 behinds. I beg your pardon, is that right? Might be 2 goals, 2-14 for Newcastle City. Cardiff 2 goals, 3. So it's 1 point the margin. After a fair bit of fire here early in the first quarter, there was a fairly large melee, certainly the biggest one I've seen for the season in the Black Diamond. It saw Jack Pratt get sent off for 20 minutes with a yellow card. Let's go down to the goal kickers here with Nathan.
So for the leaders, Cardiff, we have Nick Kokon and we have Trent Thompson, both with 1. And for Newcastle City, we have Liam Carroll and Patrick McMahon with 1 also.
Okay, good stuff there. So it has been 4 goals for the game thus far. We'll be back shortly with second quarter action here from Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. It looks like a great game of footy.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
It's happening on the dual shot now.
Yeah, my camera's picking up audio from somewhere.
Do you want to turn it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think it might be doing.
No, you're all right.
It might work.
It claims it's still picking it up though.
Welcome back to Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. We've got a great game of footy on our hands here. Slight score mistake there late in the first quarter. It's actually 2 goals, 4 to Cardiff. They're 16. Newcastle City, 2 goals, 2-14. It was the Hawks, Nathan, who had the footy early in the match. And then you just saw the class and the bigger bodies of the Blues, I beg your pardon, coming to the foreground late in that term.
Yeah, no, Newcastle City seemed to get on top late in the game and put scoreboard pressure on, I guess.
Yeah, exactly right. They've got a lot of avenues to goal, but I really like the way they've set up the Hawks today in their forward line. They've got their big guns up there. They started the match with Sheldon in the middle of the ground. So we're about to start here the second term. Certainly a fair bit of feeling in that first quarter. Away we go again. It's going to be the smallest ruckman in Australia, Regan Bowe. I love his style, though. He's an athletic guy. He's got a pretty good leap on him as well, does Bowe. It'll be Cardiff with the first forward thrust. May have been Pratt again. It was who kicked it into centre half forward, but it's going to be the Blues who work it out again. Going out to that familiar wing where they use so much of the footy. And Pat Gillingham on that occasion sees it go over the line.
Out on the full.
Out on the full, actually. Okay, so Cardiff. Pretty good crowd in today. You can see the fans. They're scattered all over the ground for a local derby, as you would expect. So good tackling pressure there from the Hawks. Tackle came from Jeremy O'Brien. Ball up again. That time Mark Wheeler doing the ruck work for the Blues up against Regan Bowe. Umpiring has been intense, to say the very least, Nathan. A lot of free kicks paid early in the match.
Yeah, stamping their authority on the game early.
That's right, after what was a, well, there's no other word to describe it. It was a full-on fight on the half-forward flank for the Blues. Dropping the ball there was Mitch Knight. Play on was the call. Well done to Josh Wheeler. Just bodied his opponents out of the way. Goes in there again. Aaron Seen's in there. Good in and under midfielder for the Blues. Pratt does it well to force it forward. But it'll be the Blues who get it out of trouble. Out to Haswell, who plays the wing position so well, does Connor. So Connor through the middle of the ground, chips it back in towards the middle. That was for Courtney Knight, who hasn't really touched it thus far. There's his first one. A ping for a throw, so I don't want to say he's gone possessionless, but I can't remember a kick he's had thus far, Courtney. Out towards centre wing, it's going to be McMahon to chop it off, though. So the Blues, once again, will just steady play here. Mitch Knight. Another mongrel kick. That one was out in the Gillingham direction. Getting there first for the Blues is Sam Edwards. They've outnumbered the Hawks here. Gillingham again. Went for the handball to Seen, who's a left footer on his wrong side, but he puts it on the right to Seen. It's a terrific kick. Kept it in play there. Dawes gets it back. Unselfishly gives the handball back to Crawford. Misses to the right. So 1 point the margin here at #1 Sports Ground. 16 playing 15. Thanks to our sponsors, Subway Morisset. They'll give out the man of the match today, a $20 voucher. And for play of the day, which Nathan sitting next to me will decide, they'll receive a $50 restaurant voucher to Das Hundhound restaurant chains across Newcastle. So Metcalf doing the kicking in duties. Kicks to himself and goes out to the half-back flank. Really liked the first quarter there of Metcalf. Went for Thompson, but the mark just too easily taken there. Seen once again on the bottom of the pack. Goes hard at the footy. Adlington lays a tackle. Cannot question the endeavour of the Hawks thus far. They've matched it in every facet of the game against Newcastle early. Thompson's in there again. That was a handball out to Vukovic, and the umpire pays another free kick. That's going to be for a high tackle.
And he's paid 50.
You can comment on that, mate. I'm not going to go there. So, second 50-metre penalty of the day for an incorrect disposal back to the player. So, Hillier. Loved his first term. This is Pratt onto the left side. Goes to full forward for Koshin. No mark could have been taken down there. Players jump on one another. It's going to be a ball up deep forward. It's Thompson on the bottom of the pack. He kicked a goal early in the first term from a set shot. Boundary throw up. Great camera work there from the Bar TV boys. Adlington's in there. He was held for a long time. Umpire. The play's being held with the ball for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and it's going straight to a ball up. So the umpire's not having any of the play getting carried on there. They're taking it straight away. So another ball up deep forward for the Hawks. Free kick paid to the Blues. Looked like a holding off the ball call. And
Going the way of Mitch Knight.
so Mitch Knight, the coach. Doesn't have a great deal of options on it, must be said. Goes up the middle of the ground. He's got Crawford there. Made a contest, though, did the Blues, so they did good enough on that occasion. Going back is Maddock. He's first to the footy. Kick goes out on the full, though. Poor disposal there from Maddock. And Jackson Crawford will do the kicking for the Blues to get them back into attack. Minute silence before the match today in memory of Full Walsh. Really nice touch from the Black Diamond League. This is Gillingham, just chips over the top. Goes for Seen, who's been everywhere. Deserves a goal, Aaron Seen. In the forward pocket onto his left side. Across the face. It was a behind. So scores level here, 5 minutes into the match at number 1. Metcalf doing the kicking in duties. Newcastle City in their pink jerseys. Fair bit going on for the club today. The pink footy jumpers will be auctioned off later tonight.
Yeah, later tonight. We're hoping to get a big crowd back to our club rooms after this game. So fingers crossed we can raise as much as we can.
Excellent. So get back to number 1 to the clubhouse for tonight. Another good tap there. That was time from Wheeler. Getting driven into the ground. There was Pratt. No free kick was taken for the... no free kick was paid for the in the back decision. Monk. Little handball out of the back. Crawford's been active. Kicks it goal. He's kicked it. Newcastle City up and about. They've had all the scoring in the second term. And they're out to a 1-goal lead.
That goal brought to you by GE Industrial.
GE Industrial Solutions. They're the major sponsor of our Women's League. Another great supporter. So thanks to them. So first goal of the day to Crawford. Newcastle City 22, leading the Hawks 16 here. Nearly 7 minutes gone at number 1 Sports Ground, which is in tip-top shape. Little soft underfoot, fair bit of grass, but it's probably the first week, Nathan, that the league hasn't been hampered by weather.
Yeah, no, and I was really worried about it. Hopefully the weather was hold off, and yeah, we've had a great day.
It's good to see.
A bit chilly, but can't complain.
Scene again went back to McMahon on that occasion. They're getting their dominance now, the Newcastle boys. Goes down towards Lang. So Lang playing forward now for the Blues. Goes back out to McMahon. Just beat a tackle a bit easy, but then got tackled the second time, and it's a holding the ball decision going to the Hawks. A good decision there. So they'll come in towards the middle of the ground now, and it's Adlington. The kick was chopped off by Monk, and it's a good give now, and the Blues are away again. Don't know if that was Gillingham or O'Malley, but it's Seen. Oh, and Seen was crunched. Absolutely shirt-fronted in the middle of the ground there was Aaron Seen. He certainly was hit high.
He's got up, which is a good thing.
Good to see. He's a tough cookie, Aaron Seen. In the meantime, it's Courtney Knight who has the footy. I didn't see it, Nathan. Did he take the mark?
No, it was a free kick for downfield.
Okay, so it was a free kick. So they've paid a free kick for high contact for a very big bump. So Courtney Knight for his first shot on goal for the day. Goes back. Rarely misses, does Courtney.
In the pocket and made easy work of that one.
Great goal there to Courtney Knight. Kicks his first for the day. And Newcastle City now out to a 2-goal lead.
That goal was brought to you by Subway.
Subway Eat Fresh. Chris Bishop up there at Subway Morisset. Best on ground today will receive a $20 voucher. Get yourself a couple of teriyakis and a couple of cookies.
Prefer the chicken bacon ranch myself.
Righto, good decision, mate. Play of the day though, that's a ticket you want to win as well. $50 worth of $50 worth of pork knuckle or.
Sounds good.
High tackle there, Adlington. Adlington gets the free. So away they go again. He goes in the Thompson direction on that occasion. Just got worried out of it there by Wheeler. He plays a centre-half back position so well, and on the left side, gave it down to Haswell. They're out here again, the Blues. Just getting it out of their back line a little too easy, Newcastle, early in this one. Goes in the Gillingham direction. That's Pat Gillingham. Gave a good handball out, and they're out here. This one goes back to Sam Edwards. So Edwards on the left foot, kicks towards goal, and it misses to the left. Behind there for Edwards. Newcastle City with all the scoring here. Second quarter, Nathan.
All the momentum going forward.
Yeah. So Cardiff set up 2 huddles, one on each back flank. Metcalf once again, who was brilliant in the first term. Missed last week against the Panthers in a heavy defeat. This is Spriggs. So this is where they've fallen down a little bit, Cardiff, so far. They're having trouble getting it through centre-half back. Hillier just tried to gain a bit of territory, but it's Josh Wheeler who's getting plenty of the footy, just chipping it in the Keys direction. Touched over the line, so boundary throw in. No multiple goal kickers yet, Nathan.
No, all singles at the moment, but not many goals kicked in the game. But
So not a typical day thus far for the big forwards. They're getting shared amongst the midfielders as well. Mitch Knight. Keast was the beneficiary there, took an easy chest mark. It was a bit of a mongrel kick, but it was in the right place. You'd have to think he'd be right on his distance here, Cameron Keast. Giving all the indications he's going for goal. That'll drop short. And it's punched over the line there by Vukovic, the defender. Very good fullback is Vukovic. So Metcalf again doing the kicking in duties. Goes out to that half-back flank again. Hilly up. Handball back to Vukovic, and it's a terrible kick. Out on the full once more. Newcastle City certainly looking like the side to challenge Terrigal Avoca this year. Strung together a few wins, had a really convincing win over Killarney Vale 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Dawes over the back just used his body beautifully tonight, and Knight kicks a goal.
And that goal was brought to you by Das Hundhaus.
Oh, thanks a lot, Nathan. Das Hundhaus. $50 voucher from them today. Goes to player of the day. Courtney Knight, 2 kicks, 2 goals so far in this match. You see Aaron Seen come off for a well-deserved rest. Jackson Monk going back on the ground.
We said that Courtney Knight didn't do much in the first quarter, but so far in the first 12 minutes, he's kicked 2 goals and from 2 kicks.
He's a superstar, Courtney. Terrific player, terrific bloke. Doesn't take much for him to get on the scoreboard, as you see there. Coming through there was Wilmot at 100 mile an hour. Mark Wheeler just beats an easy tackle, drills the right foot kick down to Knight again. And for 3 goals in 1 quarter of footy, Courtney Knight, the kick from Wheeler was a bullet.
Thought about the little chip over into the goal square though, but thought better of it.
Yeah, don't give that off, Courtney. He's chasing down John O'Goulet for leading goal kicker in the league. John O playing against Killarney Vale today.
Do we know how many he's behind?
I think he was 9 to start the match.
Well, that's his third, and that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security.
So Wilson Security, the major sponsor of our league. So he was 9, I believe, going into round 10. He's kicked 3 today. John O'Goulet, the spearhead forward for the Panthers. Should be a good game of footy down at Adelaide Street. Try and get you some scores as they come through closer to half-time. But back in the middle we go. It's been all Newcastle City. We did expect this, Nathan, didn't we? We thought the better side would rise to the top. Cardiff really matched them early in the first term, or the majority of the first term. But it's been the Blues who have shown their dominance, particularly in the midfield. So Adlington on this occasion. Pratt's been pretty good for them in the midfield after missing much of the first term for being sent off. Umpire will have it again. So Koshin up against Dawes. It's a free kick that will go the way of Cardiff, I think, for a hold on Koshin. Nick Koshin, then the skipper. Kicked a goal early in the first term. Once again, another turnover for the Hawks. It's Ian Baker. Plays the general so well. So he's going to switch it this time. And, gee, that's an interesting looking kick. It's gone straight to Thompson, the opposition, but he fumbled. Lang, ample time here for the Blues. Switching play once again. He's going out for Haswell. This will be a good contest up against Walters. Walters butters up and does pretty well, but he'll be pinged for holding the footy. Advantage is paid. Pat McMahon elected to play on. Chipped inside to Jackson Monk. Fell over at the wrong time. Adlington kept his feet. Now tackle, but it's a high tackle. No, it's not. It'll be a ball up. I thought he had the hand over the shoulder there. Cardiff fans wanted holding the ball. Probably a good decision. So ball up there at centre half forward for the Hawks. Dearly need a goal. Payne threw it out. Good decision. So Jack Pratt being one of the better players despite being sent off for 20 minutes in the first term. Chips it in towards full forward. Holding the man decision again. It's going to go the way of the Hawks. So that'll go against Riley Lang. And it'll be Hugh O'Neill, who was one of the better players last week in a big loss to Terrigal. Desperately need a goal here, the Hawks. It's been all Newcastle here in the second term, so O'Neill goes back. He'll kick from 25 metres. Misses to the left. Good following here, the Hawks today.
It's great to see a number of opposition fans out here for a Newcastle City home game.
Yeah, it's a good point. Hawks, I suppose, call it home as well now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Lang, right foot kick, bang, straight to the middle of the ground. It was massive. Sheldon. Timmy Sheldon playing across half-back today. Dugan's got him playing that loose man position. Well, in all the games I've seen anyway. Goes to full forward. Pretty good contest there, Dalton, but he was tightly worn down there by, it might have been O'Malley on that occasion. Adlington, well done again to O'Malley, but it was a good bounce there. It might have been Jolliffe. And hands in the back. It's going to be a free kick, I think. I think it's going to be a free kick to the... No? I'll shut my mouth here. Okay, it is a free kick, so I'm not even going to comment on what that was for. I'm not sure. Josh Jolliffe kicks the first goal of the quarter for the Hawks. Reduces the margin a little bit there. So 42 playing 23. That is an 18-point... No, it's not. It's a 19-point margin early here at number 1.
And that goal was brought to you by Bar TV.
Good on you, Bar TV. Back in the middle we go. 16 and a half minutes played here, nearly into time on. It's a quarter that's belonged to the City boys. But Cardiff, they're responding after a free kick was paid against the Blues, I believe, for an in-the-back decision. It might have been paid downfield. That's my guess anyway. So back in the middle we go. Koshin doing the ruck work now against Dawes. Sheldon in the middle of the ground. So he's playing through the middle and also in the back line as well. This is Hugh O'Neill starting to get busy. O'Neill loads up from 60. It's going to drop short. Good mark there taken by Riley Lang. One of the best fullbacks in the competition. And they could be out here, the Blues. This is Wilmot. Next kick's important. And it's a good one. Goes out to Jackson Monk. So Monk on centre wing here for the Blues. This is where they've shown their ascendancy, the Blues, going forward. But Sheldon, he's a terrific midfielder, even in the twilight of his career. He's a great player. Sheldon goes back towards centre wing, but big Jacob Dawes, biggest man on the ground. Takes a grab there in front of the smaller man, Hillier. Dawes, beautiful user of the footy. Goes to Jack Gillingham, handball inside to Jackson Monk. Away go the Blues, and it's not a bad kick. But it just couldn't hit the target down there. Nick Dempsey. Tell me a bit about Nick Dempsey. No idea?
No idea, unfortunately.
I can tell you something. He wears number 5.
And looks a bit like Abe Gibson, who wasn't playing earlier.
They got a few lookalikes in the Newcastle side. It caused me a bit of grief. I think the biggest one is O'Malley and Gillingham.
Yes, they both like a top knot.
Yeah. So going back there is Payne. And easy as you like, Sam Payne kicks a goal. So they respond straight away to the Cardiff goal. 48 playing 23 here at Newcastle number 1.
And that goal was brought to you by BLK.
So BLK Beyond Limits known. Terrific apparel supplier. Nearly into time on here at number 1 Sports Ground. Just a little bit of loose checking there across full back. You feel like when Newcastle go forward, they are the more dangerous side. Big Jacob Dawes now starting to show his ascendancy as well. It'll be Bo to go back in the ruck against him.
I'm liking Bo. He's not tall, but he's got a good leap on him.
Absolutely, mate. He's an athletic ruckman. He's going up against one of the best in the league, a representative ruckman in Dawes. But he's showing a bit Regan, and I like the look of him. Dawes that time getting a tap forward. Mitch Knight gaining a little bit more territory there for the Blues. Cardiff boys trying hard, but it's turned over, and another free kick. And 50 metres there will go against Aaron Seen for kicking the ball after the whistle. A timer holding the man decision. So ever since the fight erupted early in the first quarter, the umpires have certainly had a pretty big impact on this match in terms of the free kicks that they've given.
They're showing that they mean business today.
Absolutely. So another 50-metre penalty. There's probably been half a dozen already. So the Hawks, where's their avenue to goal? They go for Koshin. Big pack of players there at full forward. Josh Wheeler again, easy as you like, kicks out towards the half-back flank towards Seen, who's been one of the best players on the ground, and Aaron Seen's out. Onto that left foot, goes towards centre-half forward. It's Sheldon there up against two Blues players, and Timmy Sheldon does pretty well. In fact, he does really well. Handballs it back to centre-half back, a bit of a dangerous area. Blues have the numbers here. This is Jack Gillingham. Handballs it back. That could have been his brother or Macaulay O'Malley. Throwing it out there, it might have been Maddock for the Hawks. Metcalf goes back. He's going to rush it behind. So Metcalf doing the kicking in duties. He's going to go out to that far back flank again. There's no easy kicks for the Hawks. If there's one thing you notice, that's probably it. Jolliffe kicking towards centre-half forward, and that is just brave from Riley Lang. Did sensationally well.
Big crash of bodies.
Yeah, Wilmot was in there as well. Josh Wheeler's been one of the better players on the ground, and this time it's O'Malley. So O'Malley in the middle of the ground opens up the game and goes out towards Keast. Taking an uncontested chest mark is Keast. Not much movement from Knight. He just goes, he says, just kick it to me. Oh, yeah, well done. It was Metcalf who forced the spoil. Courtney didn't lead. He just said, kick it down here. And Zach Metcalf playing on Courtney at the moment. It'll be a boundary throw in into time on here in the second quarter. Worked out here towards Thompson and Wheeler. Oh, good chest mark there taken by Thompson. Contested mark. Tick that one, young man. So Thompson into the middle of the ground. They're using the corridor more now, but it's an average kick. Turning the footy over a bit too much here, the Hawks, and it's Wilmot. That's a poor kick as well. Gillingham tried to beat a tackle and did. Don't argue. Josh Wheeler again. He just fends them off. Little chip kick there into Seen, who's probably coming up for his 15th or 20th possession. He's had heaps of it. Seen will send them forward once more. Well done there to Wilmot. He went up against Koshin. Thompson again. Little handball over the top. Took his eyes off the footy down there. Might have been Norton. And just going through way too easily there is Jacob Dawes. Well cut off there. I love the game here of the Cardiff backs. That was Mayo. In there again is Sheldon. But the tackling pressure's really good. Dawes beats a tackle. Don't argue. Centres it up into the middle of the ground. Well done, Zach Metcalf. Elected to play on. Wasn't called on to though. Gives a handball over now. And away go the Hawks through centre half back. The bounce was a poor one from Vukovic. In there is Gillingham. Handball goes back there to McMahon. Little banana kick was for Courtney Knight, but it was an average one. Vukovic again. Poor use of the footy here from both sides. Cardiff just banging him out. Another 50-50 contest out on centre wing. It's Liam Carroll for the Blues who'll get there first. He gets a handball back to O'Malley. O'Malley chips to centre half forward now, and a good grab taken by, or an uncontested mark I should say, by Gillingham, Jack Gillingham. Gillingham was hit hard as he kicked it. Cameron Keys took a towering mark. And need I remind you, Nathan, you'll be selecting player of the day today.
I've keeping my eye out, but no, that was a good grab there.
Terrific mark there taken by Big Keast. He's had a few shots at goal from this range. He hasn't made the distance on any of them. So let's see how he goes now. He'll kick from right on the paint of the 44. This one might fall short again at wheel. So just make note there, Coach Knight. Maybe have a word to him, tell him to lower the eyes for the second half.
He's had two shots from about there, and they're both fallen short.
Yeah, one in the first quarter as well. So Pratt. So 50-metre penalty again. I'd love to see how many we've had of those. 50 playing 23. First half just about over. Zach Metcalf will have the footy at centre half back for the Hawks. They dearly love another goal going into half time. They've matched it for intensity with the Blues early here. I think that's Hugh O'Neill in the middle of the ground. And 50 metres, that was there. Josh Wheeler encroaching over the mark. And Nick Maddock getting in the ear there of Wheeler. Wasn't called to play on. Wheeler certainly took 2 or 3 steps. So back-to-back 50-metre penalties. I'm going to say we're up to 8. There's zero research that's gone into it, but I reckon that's a roundabout number where we're at.
Yeah, I reckon you're right there, Ryan.
So Sam Haig, I beg your pardon. Haig in the 22 jumper. Directly in front. He'll kick from 20 metres out. Haig. Left foot kick. Oh, he's missed it to the right. That's a shocking kick at goal. Got a bit of the Travis Cloaks about him.
Cardiff needed that goal coming into half-time.
So Riley Lang. Watch how Newcastle work it out of the back line here. They're a very good moving side. Lang kicks to himself. Another stat for him. Goes to Haswell. Good footballer, young Haswell. Elects to handball back into a hotspot. Gee, that's ambitious. Good enough there was Wilmot. Back to Haswell. Left foot. Switches across goal. Thompson affected to spoil, but a good grab there taken by Pat McMahon. Cross again to Wilmot. Just biding their time. His kick goes to Jack Gillingham. He's got enough time, although the ball doesn't really sit for him. It's a poor tackle there laid by Bo. They've missed a few, the Hawks, in this quarter. Into the middle of the ground, but it's a poor kick once again, and that might be Haig. Little handball into Pratt. Pratt's been good. Handball over the top, and away go the Hawks through Jeremy O'Brien. So O'Brien into centre half forward. And it's a good mark there taken by Jolliffe, who I believe's kicked a goal already today, Nathan.
Yeah, has one.
Jolliffe in towards full forward, but too easily chipped off. Bad kicking's bad footy, and it's Wilmot. And full back for the Blues. He goes out to centre wing position where it's Pat Gillingham, and he's got a paddock. Gillingham kicks off one step. Goes in the Sam Edwards direction. Edwards onto that left foot, goes to full forward where Keast is. Got there on the bounce. Boundary throw in, 26 minutes gone. Can't be long left here in the second term. 26-point margin in favour of Newcastle City.
A goal either way in these last few minutes could be crucial for both sides.
Yeah, you feel like one to Cardiff, and there's certainly still a chance, but you feel like a goal to Newcastle City, and that will go a long way to winning the match today. So boundary throw in. Keast. Free kick there, high tackle is going to go the way of the Hawks. So Pratt been super active. Kick there. Oh, geez, been made to earn that as Adlington, I think it is, on the half-back flank there for the Hawks. It is. So off one step is Adlington. That's a terrible kick. It's a 15-metre pass. He's kicked it off one step, like a sandwich. Anyway, ball bounced out of play. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Take two. Another free kick paid. This time it's going to go the way of the Hawks. I think it was for a high tackle, Nathan.
Could have been.
Who knows? Hillier retrieves the ball.
Too many bodies in it to tell.
Yeah, so it'll be Jolliffe. Giving it back to Pratt here. Pratt back to Jolliffe. Just working it by hand, and they've sold themselves into some trouble, but it's good enough play there from Hugh O'Neill. So back to centre wing. Out on the full. Just poor skills from Cardiff. It's cost them a couple of goals. Their kicking certainly hasn't been A1, but it's neither were Newcastle City's on that occasion. It was well chopped off there by the skipper, Nick Koshin. So Koshin on centre wing, gives the handball back into Pratt. I like his running game, Pratt. Left-handed handball over the top to Jolliffe, who also started on centre half back. He goes into full forward. It's Thompson playing the lone full forward, and it's well done, Trent Thompson. Cardiff fans up and about. He was outnumbered there, Trent. Already kicked the one goal for the day.
And as we said earlier, this goal could be crucial coming into half-time.
So Thompson. It's a must-kick goal. We saw an easy one missed by Haig probably 5 minutes ago. So Thompson straight in front. Well done there. Trent Thompson kicks his second for the day. Cardiff fans are up and about.
Makes easy work of that. And that goal is brought to you by Belmont 16-footers.
Thanks to Belmont 16-footers. Go there for a drink later. Or come here for the Newcastle's pink day.
That's exactly right. If you're watching and want a jumper, come down.
Either way, you've got a plethora of options this Saturday night. Could come down and buy Courtney Knight's jerseys. We look at it down here on the bench, the number 3. Surely that'd go for a few $100s.
It's a bit dirty, though.
What's a footy jumper go for at an auction?
Starting price is $55, so
Yeah,
you could
I think
pick up a big bargain.
Absolutely.
Get the player to sign it. And
That's right. So Monk again drives Newcastle City. For every time Cardiff score, Newcastle City seem to win the clearance. It's going to be a ball up. There can't be long left. Cardiff dearly want to hold out here and make sure they go in 20 points down at half-time. Strong tackling there by Spriggs. Good tackling by both teams. In the back, it's going to go the way of Newcastle, and the umpire was out of the position there to pay that. I certainly didn't see it.
I didn't either, Ryan.
Gee, it's disappointing. But anyway, we won't ride them too much. So it's going to be a late kick on goal here.
To Sam Edwards.
Sam Edwards, is it in the 38? So he's a left footer, I believe, Edwards. Kicks from about 45 minutes. A lovely drop punt kick. It will make the distance. One behind, and I think that's probably justice. So at halftime here at Newcastle number 1, it'll be a 21-point margin at halftime to the Blues. Goal kickers, please, Nathan.
So for Newcastle City, we've got 3 goals to Courtney Knight. What a quarter he had. And we've got singles to Sam Payne, Liam Carroll, Paddy McMahon, and Jackson Crawford. And for Cardiff, we have 2 to Trent Thompson, and 1 to Josh Jolliffe, and 1 to Nick Koshin.
Thanks a lot there, Nathan. So halftime here at number 1 Sports Ground. It's the Blues with a pretty commanding lead. We'll be back shortly with second half action.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Lovely. The clubhouse end of the ground. So we have 16 prizes on offer, guys. There's no first, second or third prize. You get first ticket, you get first choice of the prizes. So if no other tickets are to be sold, then I'll draw the raffle. Okay, guys, so the first ticket is Blue A39. I think that says Joan. Blue A39.
Welcome back. Number 1 Sports Ground here. Round 10 action of the Black Diamond. Brought to you by Wilson Security. Really good game of footy here, Nathan. Newcastle City with enough lead to be comfortable, but you really feel like Cardiff are up and about today. I was watching them run out. They really got a lot of belief. They really want to stick it to the Blues boys in the second half, and this game's far from over.
Yeah, Cardiff were first ones out. Looked really up and about, so really looking forward to seeing what happens in this second half.
Yeah, so it'll be a 21-point lead to the Blues going into the second half. Lights are on here at number 1 Sports Ground. It's a twilight match today, but still beautiful conditions to be playing footy. And we see there again Regan Bowe for the Hawks doing the ruck work. He looks like a really good athletic ruckman. So there's Scene. He was certainly one of the better players on the ground in the first half. Crawford went hard as well. Scene will be there first again, and he'll go to his left side. So will he go for goal, Aaron Scene? He does. Or does he square it up? It's a lovely kick there from Scene. And Sam Payne, is it? No, Gillingham. Jack Gillingham. So Jack Gillingham, he's a beautiful kick of the footy, Aaron Scene.
Good to a CVJ here.
Yeah.
Around the corner. With the snap.
Kicks the goal there, does Gillingham. First goal of the third term goes the way of the Newcastle City Blues. In early stages here, they just open up that lead again to 27 points.
And that goal was brought to you by Subway.
Subway Morris said they'll get a $20 voucher for the best on-ground player today. That'll be judged by myself, unfortunately. Play of the day, however, will be judged by the man next to me, Nathan Timon, and that'll be a $50 voucher to Das Hundhaus, a restaurant chain across Newcastle. So we've got some terrific sponsors in the league now.
And as we predicted at the beginning of the match, the lights are on at half-time.
Yeah, exactly right. So another convincing tap there going the way of the Blues. Sheldon was tackled hard, but no free kick. They go to centre-half forward. Being warned there by Baker was Koshin, and being warned there by Koshin was Baker. Another good contest here. Love Riley Lang's first half. There's Hillier. He's got a bit of the Puopolos about him. Trent Thompson had a great first half. Throws it on the right boot, kicks it behind. So it seems like he's the target, the go-to man, Trent Thompson.
He's no Bondi billionaires, but
yeah,
can suffice from what I've seen so far.
He's presenting, isn't he? So I guess that's all that Coach Dugan can ask for. Got very differing approaches to their kick-outs, these sides. Cardiff tend to go with just the one-set huddle, kick to a point. Newcastle City have a lot more movement, so Cardiff here going for the zone. Newcastle line up all in the middle of the ground. They're going to go for the traditional huddle. Lang goes out to the opposite side of the ground. The sole Newcastle player was Connor Haswell, and he took a grab under lights here at right half back. Goes to the centre of the ground. Trent Thompson did well to jump in the hole. Got a little handball out to Sheldon. Back they go once more. Ball sort of bobbles about. Going in hard was Jack Pratt. Looks a really skillful player, Jack Pratt. Goes for Adlington. Pretty risky kick, but you got to pay that, and he does. So Adlington in the middle of the ground. Where's the next kick going to come to? There isn't a great deal of movement there from the Hawks. It's going to go in the Koshin direction at Thompson. Thompson again.
By himself.
Yeah, uncontested. Calling for it back there is Jay Dalton. He goes for Dalton, just chips it up. Dalton does well, got the hands out there, but it's good work once again from the City backs. I think this is Jackson Monk. Good pressure laid there from the Cardiff forwards. It's going to go to Emerson Monk, though. So Emerson, double back, just has ample time. Puts it on the right foot into the middle of the ground, but that's the kick that's hurt both teams. Adlington again. Tried to take on a couple of tacklers. Monk did well to hold the footy in there, trying to get a hold in the ball decision. Wasn't to be. So ball up on our commentary side. It'll be Regan Bowe to contest the ruck on his own. Taking on a tackle there was a Cardiff player. Should have been holding the ball against him. Mitch Knight was a tackler. And absolutely gang tackled there's Connor Haswell. Umpires certainly having a big impact on the game in the first half. A lot of in the back, holding the man decisions paid off the footy in a game that's got a fair bit of feeling about it.
The intensity hasn't dropped from the first half, which is good to see.
Really good game of footy this. So Haswell again, handballs back inside. Just doing the full 360 there was Liam Carroll. Haswell again, he's had heaps of it across half-back. Beautiful user of the footy is Haswell, and hits Pat Gillingham on that occasion. So Pat Gillingham goes out in the Scene and Crawford direction. Scene will be there first, playing a midfield role. There's Jack Gillingham, kicking to full forward, but just an easy defender's mark there, taken by Vukovic, who's been one of the most important players of the day for me, Vukovic. He's been everywhere. This is Mayo. Comes out towards centre wing, goes for Norton. Ball will elude him. Norton up against Baker. Norton did well, but so did Baker with the tackle. And a holding the ball decision there goes against the Hawks.
That never die attitude of Baker really showed there.
Yeah, good player, Ian Baker.
Kicked a goal in the rep game and hasn't let the boys forget about it.
It was a good goal, wasn't it? I still remember that. Joloff did well there to cut the ball off in the middle of the ground. Since mentioning using the corridor, both teams have done it since early in the first quarter, but it's just been some errant kicking that's cost them. Well, both sides, actually. So this is Carroll again at centre-half back. Uses that corridor once more. It's a pretty even contest, but a terrific defender's mark there taken by Zach Metcalf in the middle of the ground.
Very good grab there.
Yeah, just a little bit stagnant, though, the Cardiff forwards. They haven't got much to kick to. They go for Koshin, but once again, it just looks like it's all Newcastle City. And another free kick there paid by Jason Crookle for, I don't think it might have been an elbow or...
I think it was a block.
A little block, was it? Josh Wheeler's not happy. So Koshin, he'll line up for his second, Nathan. Is that right? He's kicked the one?
He's second.
So Koshin will have to kick from about 45 metres. It'll have to be a good one. It may not make the distance. It isn't, and it's well done there by, might have been that man Riley Lang again, who just tapped it over the line. Lang's done heaps, so bang, out in the Haswell direction. Connor's definitely covering some Ks. Using that corridor once more. That's a better kick. Newcastle look a lot better when they move it through the middle, stating the obvious. Here's Scene, middle of the ground. Uses that beautiful left foot again. He goes for Dawes, who's resting at full forward. That's a free kick. Holding the man, took a big piece of jump up. And that was absolutely there. So Jacob Dawes will go back directly in front, kick from about 20 metres out. And this will give the Newcastle side a little bit of breathing space.
And the big man, as he comes down the runway. An unusual kicking action, but puts it straight through the middle.
Well done there to Jacob Dawes. I questioned his kicking action one day. He kicked about 60 metres for a goal, and he never stops reminding me about it. So well done there to Dawsey. I'll never write him off again. On the Wilson Security scoreboard, it is Newcastle City 63. They lead Cardiff 32 here. 7.5 minutes gone.
And that goal by Dawes was brought to you by GE Industrial.
GE Industrial, they're the major sponsor of the ladies comp. Strong women's competition here for the Black Diamond.
It's great to see the ladies brought up here in the Black Diamond comp.
Yeah, it's
really
a strong
enjoying
competition. Girls really getting amongst it. So it'll be Wheeler up against Koshin in the ruck now. Midfield battle's been won by the Blues, but this is Sheldon. He just looks like such a reliable player when he goes near the footy. That's a good contest. McMahon up against Thompson. McMahon there never took his eyes off the footy. He got front position. Goes down in the...
I think that's Monk.
Yeah, Jackson Monk. So Monk goes for Courtney Knight. Courtney in the end was uncontested. Ball just fell into his lap. He'll take a very good kick from the champ. He'll have to kick from 50 metres on a hard flank here at number 1. Can't afford to give away the next goal here, Cardiff. They've been super competitive, but they're 5 goals down now. Courtney hasn't had heaps of the footy, but every time he's touched it, he's kicked a goal. So Knight loads up from 50 metres. Punched over the line there by Koshin. Koshin playing the ruck role, the full forward. He's at fullback. He's everywhere. The skipper.
Leading by example.
Josh Jolliffe is over the back of the pack. He might be a chance of making this contest. He won't on this occasion. Big pack of players. Emerson Monk gave a little handball out there to Mark Wheeler. Just taking bodies down. It was Chad Mayo who couldn't get a handball. Another free kick there. That time it goes to Cardiff, holding the man decision. So they play on immediately. So Jack Pratt ends up with it. Being one of the best players on the ground, Pratt just dropped the ball. Handball to gain 10 metres was from Vukovic. And away goes Haig. So he handballs into the middle of the ground. Got it. Getting a bad bounce there was Jolliffe. It was Riley Lang, I think, in there for the Blues. But another free kick this time going to the Hawks. And a 50-metre penalty. It'll go the way of Kyle Walters. And I can only assume that was because of a back chat or language to the umpire on that occasion. And let's round the 50s up to 10, eh? It's got to be at least 8.
Yeah, I think you could be right there, Ryan.
So, 50-metre penalty. It'll be Kyle Walters to kick from directly in front. He'll have to kick at 30, 35 metres, max.
The set shots today haven't been that great. Most of the goals have come kind of from running play.
It's an interesting looking kick there, but it's a well done, and don't they love the celebration here? So Walters kicks the goal for the Hawks. And gee, don't they have belief? Their heads are up. They're bouncing around. This is a shared home ground between these two sides, so Cardiff certainly looking to put on a good show. They've got a good following here today. Pretty good crowd of supporters for the Blues as well. They're supporting from the clubhouse in their pink attire.
And that goal was brought to you by Bar TV.
Good stuff, Bar TV. Next week we'll be covering the Killarney Vale Newcastle City game from Adelaide Street Oval. Newcastle City will be second, Killarney Vale third next week. So that'll be another great top-of-the-table clash. Cardiff yet to get a victory this year. We know they're rebuilding. They're a proud club. They won't go away. Crawford, he's a real live wire. Goes out to the left-footed Edwards, and Edwards loads up from 50. Bombs it to full forward in the night direction. Doing well down there was Metcalf. He's so reliable, Zach Metcalf, and he chips out further to the half-back flank. And that might be Hugh O'Neill, I believe, kicking towards centre wing, and Trent Thompson, who's done some Ks today. Out there also is Chad Mayo. Getting there first will be Jacob Dawes. Went with the don't argue. Little handball over the top. It'll be a boundary throw-in. So nearly 12 minutes gone here. It's certainly a decent lead for Newcastle City. You would never back against it from here with the 6 wins this season. Dawes, another little tap. Bit of news as well. We know that Sam Pratt, we mentioned in the broadcast, he got the yellow card for that melee early in the first term. We now know that Pat McMahon was also sent off, Nathan.
Yeah, one from each, so even up.
Yes, I do apologise. Didn't catch that one early in the game, but so there was one player sent off from each side with yellow cards. So they both did the 20 minutes on the bench. Monk again. Kicking to centre half forward, just gaining a little bit of territory there. Certainly being one of the most influential players on the ground as well. Jackson Monk. As is this man, Pratt was certainly taken high. Gets the free kick on that occasion. Good decision. It was Fringe it was Seen the tackler. So Pratt goes to the middle of the ground and goes for Metcalf. Hey, that's a lovely kick. Metcalf running forward. Gives a little handball inside. It was just a little bit short for Jolliffe, but he did well in the end. Jolliffe goes for Thompson. Thompson needs to pick it up. He's been a little bit fumbly below his feet, Thompson. He's a big boy, though. Now they're out here, the Blues, through Carroll. So Liam Carroll kicks to centre wing towards Seen. Seen couldn't take a grab. He was well worked under the footy there by Spriggs. And coming in late was Mitch Knight, putting on a big bump. They force a draw out on centre wing. Still really good numbers in. Big function going on tonight in the clubhouse, the Newcastle boys. So Haswell, beautiful user of the footy, kicks it into McMahon. So McMahon on the left side. A bit of a nothing kick there, a bit of a chip kick towards Keaston Metcalf. Metcalf did well, and that was Pratt once again. He goes down for Jolliffe. So Jolliffe has a little bit of time. Who's he got to kick to? No one really in particular, to be honest. And Riley Lang, well, he wasn't paid the mark. Very casually just goes through centre half back. Pretty average kick. Clever play there from McMahon and Haswell.
That could be the play of the day.
Yeah. Gee, you'd love to win a voucher for that. Nothing really stood out at this stage as one particular play. And that was Wilmot in the white boots. So Payne it is now. Kicking towards half forward, but it's Haig. And they're going to go backwards to go forward to the Hawks. That time Vukovic. Out wide further to Dalton, who's been rarely sighted today. He can go through good spurts and do some damage, Dalton. Once again goes to the middle of the ground, but it's just a poor kick. Liam Carroll couldn't take a mark. Spriggs wheeled around on the right boot. Was well tackled though, did the full 360. Payne's in there as well. As is Monk. So Monk to centre half forward. Sitting in the hole there. It might have been Metcalf it was. Had a terrific game, Zach Metcalf. Goes out to Pratt. Handball's back to Metcalf. They've worked well, those two. Metcalf, another one up the middle of the ground. This has to be the good kick. Hillier was the target. He's one of the smaller fellas on the ground, but he's super reliable, Hillier. Goes down there and doing well was Jeremy Koshin in the 12. Chips it over the top, and away go the Hawks. This might be Jolliffe. He misses to the near side, Jolliffe.
Played on there, and they really needed to kick that.
Yeah, they can't afford to be kicking points. They've been a little bit wasteful in front of goals. Have the Hawks. And nearly 16 minutes into the game, it's 64 playing at 39 here at number 1. So Lang to do the kicking duties again here for the Blues. Goes out here for Wilmot. It's just the good players here for Newcastle City getting their hands on it, and Monk. So Monk towards half forward. He's going in the Dempsey direction. No player really jumped at it. Crawford gets it back, and Crawford's got pace. I don't think that was out of bounds. Boundary umpire called it there. It's 3/4 time at Adelaide Street Oval at Killarney Vale, and it is Terrigal Avoca commanding lead over the home side Killarney Vale. They're 16-7, 103. Killarney Vale 4-1-25. And it's Nelson Bay 9-8-62. Warners Bay 5-4-34. Those games have probably already wrapped up, so we'll get some final scores coming through for you, but it looks like Terrigal Avoca and Nelson Bay will be commanding winners today. It was Dalton who got the kick towards the middle of the ground, but Riley Lang, the bigger-bodied player, worked Trent Thompson under the ball. Oh, Knight had a great jump of the footy. Down there's Vukovic and his Edwards. Just to remind you, Nathan, you've got to be giving out the Player of the Day award today.
I'm keeping my eye out
for a German feast.
Can I give it to myself?
I don't know what the rules are, mate. Anyway, Dalton again. Kicks out to centre half back. Crawford might get there first depending on the bounce. Thompson did pretty well to force a draw. I really like Trent Thompson. Probably as he gets a little bit older, he'll be more of a key position player, but he leads hard at the footy. He looks like a pretty good kick at goal as well. Just a little bit fumbly below his feet on a few occasions today, but looks a pretty good footballer. That looks like an in-the-back decision. It's going to go the way of the Hawks. And I believe it's Koshin who's playing in the ruck at the moment. So Koshin at centre half back. Payne's there. They're just waltzing through. Newcastle City kicking to full forward. It's a nothing kick. Metcalf who reads the ball beautifully, and they're out on the far flank. Metcalf and Vukovic. Sheldon's the next one along. A bit of a nothing kick there. Sold Sheldon into a bit of trouble, and Crawford will get there first for their Blues. Just does a blind turn against nobody, and then kicks it out on the full. Great work there from Crawford. Tired legs now. It's been a pretty quick game of footy, this one. Despite Cardiff not notching a win in season 2015, they've certainly matched it with Newcastle City in a lot of facets. Nick Koshin, centre half back. This is the kick that's hurt them, though. Goes out to centre wing in the direction of Adlington. He's taking on Keast. Both players sort of just fall on top of each other. It's well done there by Mayo going to centre half forward, and Jeremy O'Brien will have a little bit of time here. He handballs in the Thompson direction. Thompson kept his feet and did well. Thompson on the right foot, kicks a goal. Could that be Player of the Day?
I think that may be Player of the Day.
Trent Thompson, the Newcastle City Backman went to ground and Thompson picked the ball up, snap on the right foot, and the Cardiff fans are up and about.
They say that you have to keep your feet as a footballer, and that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, Trent Thompson. He certainly shows a little bit. He goes in and out of the game as any young player does, but certainly got a little bit of class about him, Trent Thompson. Really like the way he moves. So, important goal there for the Hawks. 19 points the margin in favour of Newcastle City. Certainly a lot of feeling still left in this game. You just sense that Cardiff aren't going away. We're nearly into time on in the third term. At least that's something to beat then, Nathan, for the voucher.
That's exactly right. I think that is the play to beat at the moment.
A couple of the important players here for the Blues down on the bench. Jackson Monk and the coach, Mitch Knight.
The recently married Mitch Knight.
Ah, good on you, Mitch. So Pratt, handball off to Sheldon. Koshin selling a little bit of candy there, the captain. And that's a downfield decision against Payne. Gee, that's, you don't want to mention the word soft, but it was another contentious decision there paid by Jason Crookle. And it's going to be Hillier. Hillier's going to be, beg your pardon, it's Ben Julian in the 15. I think I've been calling him Hillier all day. But Ben Julian it is. In the 15 footy jumper. So really important kick for the Hawks. This would bring the margin back to a couple of goals and make it really interesting. So Julian goes back straight over the goal umpire's head. And it's Will and kicks his first goal for the match, and Cardiff are up and about in the third quarter.
And that goal was brought to you by Das Hundhaus.
Das Hundhaus. Another 50-metre penalty. We're certainly up to 10 by now. 51 playing 64, just a 13-point margin now at Newcastle number 1. Ben Julian in the number 15 jersey for Cardiff. I've been calling him Max Hillier all day. My apologies for that. So a little tap over the top. Dalton might get there first, but it's Dempsey, I believe, or Emerson Monk who might have got there first for the Blues. Anyway, they're out again. Going to ground there was Gillingham. Doing well was Haig. Cardiff showing a little bit of confidence here. That one goes down to Chris Davies, but was punched over the line.
Jackson Crawford.
All right, Jackson Crawford. Davies into the side today, a late inclusion. Regan Bowes playing on Jacob Dawes down at centre half forward. So Julian there sees the ball go over the line. Tackling pressure really good here. So ball sort of bobbling around at centre half forward for the Blues. Comes back to Mitch Knight. He loads up from 45. Just puts it on the right foot in the direction of his brother. He's been double teamed all day though, and it's sensational work once more from Zat Metcalf on that occasion. Been certainly one of Cardiff's best.
Been outstanding today.
It's going to be a tough one to pick man of the match. So Metcalf straight up the middle of the ground. Oh, terrific grab there taken by Jack Gillingham. Oh, and another good mark there taken by Jackson Crawford. It's just a really good spring down there from Crawford.
Jackson Crawford was one of the Black Diamond AFL players who got the call up to the Swans reserves when they played out here a couple of weeks ago, which was good to see.
Oh, very good. How'd he get on?
Yeah, did all right. Did all right. Got a few touches.
Good man. So Crawford, he'll kick from 45, right on the paint. It's a low kick, hooks it though out to the left. And the margin now out to 15 points late in the third term. Certainly still anyone's game. You would never back against Newcastle City from here. But Cardiff certainly still got a lot of run in their legs. A good jump there by the two number 5s. But it'll be Monk who gets there first. That's Liam Carroll chipping into the middle of the ground. It's an unmanned Keast. Keast went off his line and was called to play on. They go further wide once more, going in the Crawford direction, who's certainly been up and about for the majority of this game. Thompson just throws it on that right boot. Goes down there in the direction of the number 18 for Cardiff, which is O'Neill, Hugh O'Neill. Swinging around on his left side was Baker. Aaron Seen demanding the footy, so he's got it in the middle of the ground to Seen. Can't afford to get another goal kicked against them here. Was effective, was called to play on. It was a good tackle there by Dalton. So Cardiff for away. It's a one-on-one. Dawes versus Bow. Bow gets there first. Good tackle by Dawes, dropping the footy. Well done there, Jacob Dawes. Strong one-on-one contest. And was pretty hot on the whistle there, but he certainly dropped the ball. That'll have to be a good kick to hit Wilmot. It goes out of play. No, it doesn't. Play on call there by the umpire. Monk's down there. Falling on top of him there was the Cardiff player. They want a holding the ball decision. Ball up. Jeremy O'Brien was the tackler. Gee, the Cardiff players and supporters are really up and about here, Nathan.
Yeah, the game's kicked up a notch, I reckon.
Well, you certainly feel like it's in the balance. The closest it's probably been all day in terms of the actual contest, and with only 15 points the margin, Cardiff will absolutely back themselves going into the last quarter. They dearly love another goal. So Koshin up against Keast on that occasion. Dalton was there. Mitch Knight, the coach, onto his left side. Just scrubbers one towards centre wing. Getting there first, Mayo took his eyes off the footy. Fumbled the ball at the opportune time. Diving in there on top of the player was Gillingham, and it'll be a ball up again. Chad Mayo had to do a little bit better there for the Hawks. Keast. Big effective tap forward. Seen gets there. Chasing him is Sheldon. Love the work rate of both Aaron Seen and Timmy Sheldon today. They've tried so hard. Hopefully they've got plenty of run in the legs for the last term.
Cardiff pressing up here. Only got one player deep.
Yeah, so they've just got the one player deep forward, trying to make it a really one-on-one contest all over the ground. Keast again. Gillingham. Good tackling though from the Hawks. There's Haig. Gillingham was more interested in the footy. Gillingham. That's not holding the ball. That'll be a ball up. Umpiring's been good here in the third term. It was Hugh O'Neill there on the bottom of that pack. So away they go again. Koshin up against Keast. That's been a really good battle. Getting there first is Sheldon. Free kick paid. Who's that going to go to? Newcastle City.
Free kick to Josh Wheeler.
So Josh Wheeler is a booming left foot kick. He could just about go the distance from here. His forwards lead at him though. It's a vacant goal square. They lead back now. Courtney Knight doubling back. Wheeler's going to load up. So Wheeler from 50 at least. Towards goal. It's a lovely left foot kick and misses to the left. So 16 points the margin. 3 goals would put Cardiff in front. It's a lot easier said than done though. Newcastle City led for the majority of this match, and that kick doesn't find his teammate in Thompson. In fact, it finds the opposition in Aaron Seen. So Seen in towards the middle of the ground to his coach in Mitch Knight. They'll just play tempo footy here, the Blues. They're not going to waste it going forward. They're manning up well, though. I've really liked the work of the... Oh, it's another 50-metre penalty.
I was going to say, it's always a good decision to kick it to your coach.
Yeah, exactly right. And 50-metre penalty there for encroaching the mark against Trent Thompson. And it was once again Jason Crookle who paid it there. And it's just a mere formality there for the Blues. So a goal to Mitch Knight after a 50-metre penalty. I reckon we're over 10 now for the match.
Definitely over 10 for the match. And that goal was brought to you by Belmont 16-footers.
Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club. Terrific establishment. Can't say I've been there, but now that they sponsor the league, I'll certainly have to get along. So under lights here at Newcastle number 1. Just gone 10-5. Sun setting. 73 playing 51. So Newcastle City out again to that comfortable margin. Deep into time on. Is there enough time for another score? Bow up against Keast. They force a draw there. Sheldon will get there first and just put it on the left foot towards centre half forward where it's Dalton. Dalton gives a little handball over the top in the Thompson direction. It was a little too hot for him. And it'll be a boundary throw-in, half-forward flank.
The inaccurate kicking today could come back to haunt either side with it being so close.
Yeah, I remember one with Sam Haig missed one directly in front of goal up to the left-hand side of screen. Another one missed by Jolliffe earlier in this term. And that was paid as a high tackle. I'm not sure if that one was there, but it'll be Monk. So Lang, fullback for the Blues, is a booming right foot kick. This one comes out to our commentary side. It'll be Crawford who gets there first, and he'll back himself with pace. Crawford bounced the ball. It was an ineffective, and it's a free kick for push off the ball. It's going to go the way of Chris Davies. And it was big Jacob Dawes who pushed Davies off the ball. So Davies just kicks a sandwich of a footy. That's in the back. Pretty awful kick there from Davies, it has to be said.
Dawes able to make amends for the free kick he gave away earlier.
So Dawes switches play and goes out to the far side where it's Emerson Monk. Been pretty quiet in the second term. Monk beats a couple onto the left foot. He might have put a little bit too much on it, and Julian came crunching over the top, but he was good enough, the bigger bodied Mitch Knight there, to regain possession and go into the middle of the ground. Haig did really well attacking the footy. Took possession once again and got a left-handed handball to back into the middle of the ground. Liam Carroll, he kicks out towards the far flank. And the Blues are out here. It's a little chip pass into Pat Gillingham. And Gillingham will most likely have a shot for goal. It might go after the siren. It will do. So Pat Gillingham will have a shot for goal after the siren to give the Blues a 28-point lead going into three-quarter time. So Gillingham lumbers in. He'll kick right from the paint, the 45. It's a lovely-looking drop punt. It might drop just short. It does. They can't pay a point for that, I don't think. They won't?
Nope.
So no score. So at three-quarter time here at Newcastle number 1, it is Newcastle City 73 leading the Cardiff Hawks at 51. Goal kickers, please, Nathan.
So for the Newcastle City, we have 3 to Courtney Knight, and then we have singles to Jack Gillingham, Sam Payne, Liam Carroll, Mitchell Knight. We have Paddy McMahon, Jacob Dawes, and Jackson Crawford. And for Cardiff, we have 3 goals to Trent Thompson. We have individual goals to Ben Julian, Kyle Waters, Nick Koshin, and Josh Jolliffe.
Beautiful stuff there. So a 22-point lead to the Blues at three-quarter time. We'll be back shortly with final quarter action.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is car 33. I'm going on my break.
Perfect, we have a visual.
Three-quarter times over here at Newcastle, number 1. Really good game of footy here, Nathan. 22 points the margin in favour of Newcastle.
And you could hear it three-quarter time. Both coaches were trying to rev up their boys. We're in for a big last quarter here.
Yeah, particularly Coach Adam Dugan was very animated there at three-quarter time. He's trying to will his boys to their first victory of the year. They've been great, Cardiff. They've been intense all day. It's probably just the Newcastle boys going forward that have been a little bit more polished. But still a really good game of footy we've got here. Cardiff will want to be super competitive till the end. They'll try and push Newcastle City. It'll be their undersized ruckman, Regan Bowe, whose game I've really liked today. Going up against the experienced Cameron Keast. And Keast wins that one pretty convincingly. Sheldon goes through hard at the footy. Couldn't take clean possession. Getting pretty dark here at number 1. We're under lights now. Just before 5 p.m. So it was a late kickoff today, 3 p.m. Keast once again tapping forward. Strong tackles though. We're in excess of 10 50-metre penalties, we believe.
Yes, that's correct. About 10.
So umpires certainly played a big part, but both teams maybe being a little bit undisciplined at times. Haig was there, as is Sam Payne. The two Sams going at it. Loose ball once again. Quick hands in there. There's Pratt. There's Sheldon. Gives it back furthermore. Pratt again. Don't want to overuse it here. The Hawks, they haven't. So it's Haig who goes to centre wing now, and Trent Thompson. He's playing on McMahon. Two young guys. Good battle there. Pat McMahon's a great player, though. And McMahon keeping it in. Perhaps at his own disadvantage there. Kicking it back in. That's Jeremy O'Brien in the 29. Gets a little handball. Gains a few metres, but it's Newcastle who clean up, and it's Josh Wheeler. Ball back and forth. Emerson Monk. McMahon. Yeah, wheeling rounds O'Malley, but it's chopped off there by Sam Hagan. Away go the Hawks. Trent Thompson's out. Thompson has a bounce. Kicks it down towards full forward, and Adlington takes a grab. Jason Adlington took a mark, kicks in towards full forward position, but it's all Newcastle City. Getting there first, though, is... couldn't see who that was there. It might have been Jeremy Koshin, I believe, who kicked the ball off the ground. It missed to the right. It might have been touched anyway. So first score of the final term goes to the Blues. Haswell's been active all day. Haswell at half back. Goes into the middle of the ground. Vukovic, he's got his name written all over it, the veteran defender. So Vukovic on centre wing. He's going to drive them forward once again to centre half forward. Unmarked there was Norton, but well done there. Coming in late was Haswell once more. Riley Lang just has a little chip kick over the top. And Mitch Knight, who plays the centre role so beautifully, kicks it now towards centre half forward. Jacob Dawes is the only target. Well affected there for Metcalf for the Hawks. Oh, but tackled beautifully there. It's advantage paid. I think Monk went on with it. Beg your pardon, it was Courtney Knight. It was a holding the ball decision. Courtney Knight played the advantage.
Probably the wrong decision there.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to hit the scoreboard, Courtney, but it would have been a set shot directly in front of goal. Probably only a 40-metre kick. So one behind each to both sides here in the final term. Cardiff setting up a huddle on both sides of the ground. They're going to go directly up the middle, though, I think in the Hague direction. Grossly outnumbered there, though. Over the top came Dawes, but it was well roved there by Sheldon. Pratt just shuffles around a player. He's a very good player, Pratt. Oh, well done, though. Jack Gillingham going back with the flight. Took a terrific overhead mark. Every time Cardiff go forward, it's a strong or skillful act from a Newcastle player that seems to chop off the attack. So Gillingham. Haig was there again. He's had a pretty good start to the last term, Haig. Mayo just bangs it to centre half forward. Coming over the top, Riley Lang. I've loved his game. As of this man's Jack Gillingham. Back to Lang. So Lang on centre wing. Has enough time. Just puts a bomb up in the Haswell direction. Sheldon's there. Oh, terrific mark. You got to pay that. That was good, man. Good mark.
You pay the mark to the man in front.
Spot on. So Pat Gillingham goes towards centre half forward. Good contest there. Keith got hands to it. Couldn't take a grab. Little chip forward towards full forward, but it was Zach Metcalf who's done so well all day. Jacob Dawes handballed it to nobody. And eventually goes out of bounds. Half forward flank here for the Blues. Very important to thank Bar TV, Wilson Security, BLK, Subway Morissette, GE Industrial Solutions. We've got some great sponsors on board. Little kick out there might have come from Julian. This is Haig. Left foot kick to centre wing. They're outnumbered, though, the Hawks. Need to force a contest. They do so. It was pretty good play. And coming through there in the 18 for the Hawks was Hugh O'Neill. That one will find touch. That's a victory for the Hawks. Really like the intensity down there of Lenny Pratt, who was a late inclusion for the side. Forced a really good contest down there, Pratt.
The Hawks supporters are up and about now.
Yeah, they're trying to will their team to victory. They've got a big task in front of them. They're still 22 points behind, but plenty of time. That's a free kick. I don't see how you can pay a free kick there. Anyway, it's going to go the way of the Hawks. It'll be Bo. Played a lot of time in the ruck. He's got a player running back in towards goal. The players will come, though. The defenders will come, I should say. Lang just goes so hard at the footy, and it's a good handball there given off by Wilmot on that occasion. There's Vukovic. Beats a couple of tackles, Vukovic. Little left-hand handball. Baker gets there first. Well tackled, though, Baker. Play on called by the umpire. Trent Thompson has the ball on the bottom of the pack, and it's going to be a ball up. Cardiff would dearly love the first goal of this last term.
I don't know what happened, but we had Sam Haig just in the interchange gates there on all fours, so
okay,
could be an injury.
So potentially not too well. Good contest. They forced a draw here, the Hawks. Comes back to Walters. He kicks in towards full forward, but another punch over the top, this time from Josh Wheeler. Josh Wheeler, Riley Lang, Ian Baker. These guys across full back for the Blues have been terrific all day. Another throw in. The Hawks are up and about. They're not going away. It's a one-on-one contest all over the ground. Case that time. Bo couldn't take clean possession, just diving on it. And a high tackle. There's been some very questionable decisions by the umpires today. All due respect to them, but I think a few have been wrong, to say the least.
You never want to bag the umpire out, but...
Yep. You've got to call it how it is. So it's Baker. He's at fullback. The switch is on. Gee, it's going to have to be a good kick, though. Coming in late, Spriggs. Oh, strong hand. So Josh Wheeler pops it on the left foot. He's got Mitch Knight. Mitch Knight takes a chest mark. Closely worn by by Jeremy O'Brien and goes for Haswell. Haswell takes a mark in front of Nick Koshin. He gives a little handball off inside, and away goes Baker. So Baker through to centre half forward. It's a good kick in the Dawes direction, and Jacob Dawes takes a strong chest mark there in front of Metcalf. Probably a fraction too far out to score, but as I mentioned earlier, I said that earlier in the season, I think it was against Nelson Bay, and he went back and dobbed it. So big Dawsey.
But that just shows you, as we stated before, you move the ball through the corridor here at number one, and one kick from Baker off half back ends up with a shot at goal to Dawes.
Well said, Nathan. So Dawes comes in. He'll have to kick from probably 45 metres. Just kind of lumbers in. It's going to be out to the left. It'll drop short anyway. Courtney Knight takes a mark. They didn't even contest the Hawks backman there. It was Maddock and Metcalf. They didn't, yeah. Courtney jumped from behind the goal line, took an easy chest mark. Anyway, Knight, the champ, hasn't had too much of the footy, but he's kicked a few. Misses that one on that occasion. How many has he kicked, Courtney?
He's kicked 3.
He's kicked his 3.
That would have been his 4th.
He's probably only had 5 or 6 possessions, but he doesn't need many to hit the scoreboard. So a 23-point margin here in favour of Newcastle. You'd think to win the game, Cardiff will have to kick at least another 4 or 5 goals. Probably 5 at least. So Metcalf comes out towards the centre wing position. It's a beautiful kick of the footy. Perfect kick, and it's Kyle Walters who took the mark. Gives it off to his skipper in Koshin. Koshin backs himself, beats a tackler, gave a little handball inside. Gives it back there to Walters, but he was hit hard, and it's a high tackle. It's going to go his way to Walters. Down on his haunches here is Dawes in front of our commentary position. But as Walters, I believe, kicked a goal. Did he, Walters?
Yes, he's kicked 1 at the moment.
Kicked the 1 goal, Walters, today. Comes back to Spriggs. Spriggs just bombs it. It's a mongrel-looking torp kind of thing. In towards full forward. Another free kick. It's going to go to Cardiff. The amount of times today there's been free kicks given, though, I don't know what's for. But anyway, it's going to be Lenny Pratt in the number 1 for the Hawks. A late inclusion. The lightly built Pratt had a good contest out here on the wing probably about 5 minutes ago. Very important kick. Most important kick of the match. Pratt comes in. Kicks for goal. It's a good one. First goal of the quarter goes to the Hawks.
And that could be crucial in deciding the outcome of this game. And that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security.
So Wilson Security scoreboard. It's 75 playing 58 here. That is a 17-point margin in favour of the Blues. Cardiff led early in this match, but pretty much after quarter time, it was all one-way traffic. Cardiff haven't given up, though, Nathan.
No, they haven't. Good news, we have Sam Haig just running back there into Cardiff's defence, so he looks to be okay.
Been a great player today, Haig. It's going to be tough to pick the player of the match. Another strong ruck contest goes down towards Scene. He's certainly been one of the best players. Gets a good tap over there in the Jack Gillingham direction, I think it might be. But Jack Pratt on the bottom of the pack goes hard. Scene used his right foot in towards centre half forward. Ball sort of bobbles around. Comes out the back to Monk, but Sheldon affected the kick there with a terrific lunging tackle.
That's the kind of desperation that Cardiff need to show to win this game.
Yeah, sensational work there by the Elliot Davey medalist, Timmy Sheldon. Cardiff, it'll be Metcalf. Lovely right foot drop putt. Kick of the footy goes in the Koshin direction. Got hands to it, did Koshin. He's an athletic big man. That's not holding the ball. Good decision from the umpire. Away goes Vukovic to centre half forward now. He's going to go in the... yeah, it's really well done there. It might be Norton. That could be holding the footy. Crawford's got pace. Kicks it down towards centre wing. Haswell's the man for City. Couldn't take a mark there. Down there is Monk. Just went to ground easily. Well done there, tapping the ball in front of himself. It's Hugh O'Neill. Once again, Monk. Pratt there, kicking towards centre half forward. Oh, and it's a fortuitous kick. Goes to the ruckman, Bow. So Bow towards full forward. One out there. It's a strong contest. Play on is the call. Thompson's down there, but Riley Lang's been sensational for the Blues. And away they go through McMahon. So McMahon through centre half back, chipping into the middle of the ground where Keese takes a strong overhead mark in front of Mayo. Cameron Keese, the ruckman. Sheldon might chop this off, though. Elects to punch. Does it pretty well. In fact, does it really well. But it's going to be Emerson Monk to get there first. Ran into his teammate. Handball back to... might have been Liam Carroll. Goes towards centre half forward. Wanting a free kick there was Metcalf for high. It wasn't paid. Play goes on. There's Sam Edwards. Shadows everywhere all over the ground. It's getting pretty dark now. And there's Julian for the Hawks.
It is getting a little cold out here, but I've just noticed that Mark Wheeler's sitting on the Newcastle City bench in a dressing gown, so his day could be over.
Okay, so Mark Wheeler's day's over. It's a snap kick towards goal for the... well done there. From, might have been Hay. Courtney Knight's got it, though, tucked into the pocket. Screws run around the corner. Was it touched? It was. So 77 plays 58. 19-point margin. Cardiff have not gone away. The pressure's been brilliant from the Hawks. Strong contest there. Coming over the top was Wheeler. Wheeler, look at him go hard. And it'll be a ball up. So that was Dempsey. Just got a kick into full forward, but it was well chopped off. And it'll be Hugh O'Neill who gets the kick out. That's late. That could be 50 metres, and it is. Let's call that number 12 for the day. It might not be exactly right, but it's roundabout enough. We've certainly had over 10. And the umpire keeps going. It's a solid 50. He's still going. That's the longest 50 I've ever seen. Anyway, Ben Julian, middle of the ground. I was calling him Hillier for the first half. I do apologise, mate. Goes to centre half forward. Good contest there. Good players everywhere. Newcastle City have numbers. And it's Carroll who comes out the back. Now it's Baker, kicking to no one in particular. Jolliffe will get there first. Tries to beat a tackle. Dars gets a handball out the back to Koshin, the skipper. Terrific. Baker. Intensity sensational there from the backman of both sides. Good handball out there to Jolliffe. Puts it on the right into full forward. Dalton took a mark. Jay Dalton takes the mark. Newcastle City want a touch. It's not to be at 50 metres. Certain goal for you for the Hawks.
You could see that coming.
He's quite partial to 50-metre penalties, Jason Crookle. And, yeah, the Cardiff crowd are right up and about. This game has got a lot of life left in it, let me tell you. Cardiff kicked the goal. And that'll be 64 playing 77, so a 13-point margin.
And that goal was brought to you by Bar TV.
Bar TV, where else would you rather be? There's probably AFL games on TV right now, but tune into your local footy competition. Cardiff Hawks, in case you didn't know, they're yet to win a game this season. They're really pushing the second place Newcastle City Blues. We mentioned it earlier, local derby. Doesn't matter about your position on the ladder. Yeah, Dalton, I believe, was the goal kicker, the number 10. 50-metre penalty. Could have only been for back chat from the Newcastle backs, who were pleading for it to be touched, but the decision was already made. Anyway, back in the middle we go. Getting dark. It's hard to see these players, but it'll be Pratt who will get tackled. He's probably had prior opportunity there, Pratt. You'd probably think on his knees, despite being on his knees, he had a look around, he elected not to handball. That's got to be holding the ball. Anyway, one goes Cardiff's way. Keast in there. Hawks might get clean possession here. I think that's Haig again, who's been everywhere. That's a pretty good kick. Good punch there coming in, though, by Baker. He's been great. It was Davies who tried to take the mark. In there's Haig again. Goes back to Pratt, who goes to ground for a second time. Coming around here, I believe in the 29, that's O'Brien it is. Jeremy O'Brien. But well done, Cameron Keast. He's been everywhere. He's marked everything. Goes out wide to Emerson Monk, and they could be out here, the Blues. So they go towards full forward. Who's up there forward for them? Matt Calf. He's been sensational. Jolliffe's down there as well. Putting his head over the footy might have been Matic, I believe. And Matic goes in again. He elects to go to ground. Did he drag that in? No, he didn't, said the umpire. I thought he might have pinged him there. Seen worse paid.
Momentum is a hard thing to stop in footy, and at the moment Cardiff have it.
They've got it in spades. So ball up, nearly full forward there for the Hawks. Aaron Seen chops it off. He's a smart footballer. He knows he'll go back and have a kick here. His side's in front. You'd still back them from here, Newcastle, but a really good game of footy. And Pat Gillingham, who I believe it might be third in the league for goal kicking at the moment, behind Goulet and Knight.
But hasn't kicked one today, though.
Hasn't kicked one today. So Pat Gillingham, he'll kick from probably 45 out. Important one for the Blues just to steady the ship. This one looks like it's out to the right. It is.
Similar spot to the one he missed just before three-quarter time there.
So Wheeler, he had the dressing gown on, I think you said earlier, Nathan.
Yes.
He's taken that off, and he looks like he might be going back onto the ground. So mark there taken by Jolliffe. Been good players all over the ground for Cardiff. In fact, for both teams. Sam Haig coming off the ground. Really liked his game as well. He'll be substituted by Mayo. That's a scrappy kick. Lenny Pratt's down there. Could have been taken high, and he's going to pay it. Free kick to the Hawks at centre half back. It'll go against Jack Gillingham, who's taken a few really good grabs today. Pratt elects to handball. This is off to Ben Julian. So Julian goes to centre wing. Another one of those 50-50 contests, and Jay Dalton punches it over the line. So they're forced to draw Cardiff. Newcastle City, second on the ladder at the moment.
Wheeler pushing deep forward.
So Wheeler goes forward pretty much on his own. I don't know if they've noticed this. Wheeler is on his own if they... Oh, but it's well done. Zach Metcalf takes a great grab. So Metcalf kicks out towards centre wing again. Good mark there. Thought he might have paid hands in the back, but it's the coach, Mitch Knight. In the pink streep. Stands out in the night time. Handball there from Carroll. Back to, might have been O'Malley. Crawford, clever little tap over the top to Paddy McMahon. Just waltzes through the middle of the ground, got tackled, but got a handball away. It's a turnover, though. That was Spriggs who kicked the centre half forward. Need a good bounce here. Cardiff, they're out. Koshin couldn't take clean possession. Ball up.
Oh, Cardiff were almost away there. Just the unlucky bounce of the football.
Yeah, it was O'Malley laying the tackle. Jolliffe, I think, came in over the top. McMahon back to O'Malley through the middle of the ground. Good little chip kicks. Found Crawford. He might have just come off the bench. So Crawford doesn't play on, takes it back. Getting pretty cold here at Newcastle number 1. Goes in the Haswell direction. He's been pretty well held in the second half. So Haswell kicks it as far as he can. No mark could be taken. Gee, the Cardiff backline's been great. As is this man, Pratt. Mayo, handball inside to Metcalf. He's been brilliant. Snaps it onto the right foot, but it's just going to go to McMahon. So Pat McMahon, you can hear the calls for Paddy. There's plenty of opportunities for the... It's a free kick for in the back there, I think, against Metcalf. It's going to go to Gillingham. So Pat Gillingham, centre half forward. Nearly at time on here. Newcastle City, they're probably a goal away from really securing this one. Gillingham loads up. That's a brilliant kick. He'll go right at the goal line. No one taking a mark there. Slapping Rackabee on the righty. It's Caswell, I think. I think it was Connor Haswell kicking the goal.
Yeah, Connor Haswell with the pink zinc, and that goal was brought to you by BLK.
Ball dropped right on the line. He was front and centre. Snapped around the corner on the right foot, and that could be the nail in the coffin. It's a 20-point margin now in favour of Newcastle City. That could see them coast home, and we're into time on now. Just over 20 minutes played. Final quarter.
But that's exactly where your junior coach tells you to be, front and centre at a contest. Ball went deep long, was punched forward, and Connor Haswell got the just rewards for being in the right position at the right time.
Yeah, good stuff there to Connor. So back in the middle, Bow up against Keast. Ball kicked forward. Connor Haswell again. He's got his confidence up after kicking the goal. That's holding the footy, dropping the ball. Play on. Mayo plays advantage. They need to kick a goal. Cardiff comes out to the far flank to Julian. Julian kicks to centre wing. But well done, Cameron Keast. Gee, he's had a good game as well. He'd be definitely looking at taking home a man of the match performance, but he's got a few competitors wearing the pink colours today.
And that's paid deliberate.
Was it deliberate or holding the ball?
Paid deliberate for placing the ball straight over the boundary line.
So Julian, I guess that's a free kick then. Kicking towards centre wing. It's been a good game of footy, this one. Just working the ball forward now. Josh Wheeler works his way around Koshin and goes with the left foot to the middle of the ground, but it's Cardiff just beaten by a bounce there, and they're out here, the Blues. They're quick and they're big. That was Sam Edwards. He'll want his left side. Gives a little handball over the top to Mitch Knight. Spent it before he had it. Dropped the ball in the end, did Mitch Knight. That's got to be holding the ball. Doesn't pay it anyway. So away they go. Sheldon will get there first and take possession. Tries to beat a tackler, can't. And it's holding the footy there. Sheldon, I think, wanted one high. Vukovic threw the footy on the ground. And a 50-metre penalty every day of the week. I think he was certainly taken high, though, Sheldon.
I don't know whether that's the new interpretation of the rule, of him ducking his head or his shoulder, that he wasn't paid the free kick, but it certainly looked high.
Okay, so Mitch Knight, the coach, he might have one of the last kicks for goal in the match. This would be to seal the victory for the Blues. Misses to the right. Been some poor kicking in front of goals today. Just to remind you, Nathan, you're going to have to give out the Dust Hood and Hound play of the day, the $50 voucher.
I have a good feeling that I know who it'll go to.
Okay.
There's been no other good play since Trent Thompson's.
So Trent Thompson might be the favourite. Haswell kicked a good goal late. So Pratt on the bottom of the pack. He's had a good game. Just dropped it cold in the end, though. Into time on here at number 1. Newcastle City with a 21-point lead. Cardiff got to within 13 points midway through this quarter, but a couple of settling goals has ensured that Newcastle City, well, hasn't ensured it. Most likely they're going to win today. So Julian gives it back to Pratt. Swinging tackle there was on Hugh O'Neill. Kick it into full forward where it's Haswell's one out. First there will be Julian. He's had a pretty good game. Chips it to half-back. And there's Monk. Little handball out to Scene. Mitch Knight again. Chips it up high. Koshin uses his body well. And there's Metcalf. Hit hard there was Pratt. You got the hip of Scene, I think. Play on the call. Jack Gillingham. Handball back inside. Emerson Monk.
He hasn't moved, Pratt.
So he's stopped play. He's up on his feet though now, Pratt. So I don't know what that means. Is that a...
Yeah, it means it's a ball up back where the kick was before it was stopped. So it'll be on the top of the 50-metre arc.
Just a reminder, next week we'll be at Adelaide Street Oval at Killarney Vale for the Killarney Vale taking on Newcastle City. That will be a great match. Newcastle City will be back in their traditional blue footy jumpers. Killarney Vale going down today to Terrigal Avoca at home. So Terrigal Avoca still undefeated. They'll be 9-0. Newcastle City look here to move to 7-2. So Lang kicking towards centre half forward. Haswell might get there first. Dewy conditions now at number 1. Ball not really bouncing. Aaron Seen's a good player. Got into his right foot though on that occasion. Sam Edwards might get there first. Intends to lay a tackle for his mate Courtney Knight. Courtney wheels around. Right foot. Kick it. Goal. He's got it. Courtney Knight puts the nail in the coffin. And Newcastle City will win. Still a lot of feeling in this game.
Yeah, still a lot of feeling with only a few minutes left. And that goal was brought to you by Subway.
Thanks a lot to our sponsors, Wilson Security, the major sponsor of the league, GE Industrial Solutions, Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club, BLK, the official apparel supplier, Dusthund House, Subway Morisset, and Bar TV as well, producing it. So Newcastle City will win today. After quarter time, they always had a comfortable lead. Just a reminder, the highlights and a full replay will be shown tomorrow. Koshin has it for the Hawks. This is Lenny Pratt. Kicked a goal early in the last quarter that looked like it might bring Cardiff right back close to challenging the Blues. That was Riley Lang. He's been great. Monk has it on the half-back flank.
Newcastle City just winding down the clock now.
Mitch Knight, centre wing. Kicks it into centre half forward. Metcalf will get there first. And Zach Metcalf, who has probably been one of the better players for the Hawks, takes a chest mark at centre half back. So Koshin up against Payne, and Sam Payne takes a strong overhead mark. Got excited and played on. Wheeling around, there's Edwards onto his left foot. Courtney Knight's one out against Metcalf. Good contest down there. Front and centre was, I don't know who it was, but it's come back to Aaron Seen by the look of it, who's kicked a left foot goal.
I think that was actually Courtney Knight.
Was it?
I think so.
Courtney Knight kicked the goal. Well, there you go. We'll give it to Courtney. So late in the game, Courtney Knight, despite being pretty well held by Metcalf and Norton and Vukovic all day,
He's still got away with how many? 5, has he?
Yeah, he's got 5. He seems to like the clubhouse end of the ground towards the right of your screen.
So it's a 33-point margin now to Newcastle City. And late in the game, it'll be a centre square infringement. So Cardiff go forward in the Cochin direction, but he was just slung off the ball there, the backman. And it might be Jack Gillingham, I think, down there, who will get the kick. So Gillingham, been another one of their good players today for the Blues. They've had a lot of them. That was O'Malley. A bit of a scrappy kick to centre half back. Taken high there was Lenny Pratt. And Pratt, who's had a fair bit of the footy in the last term, was barely sighted early on, but he's been good, including a goal here. So Jolliffe, bit of a nothing kick. Mark was spilt down there by Kyle Walters. Getting there first will be Riley Lang, who has had a great game also. Sam Payne, he's going to switch it out here to the far wing, and Emerson Monk. So Monk will take possession. Got another kick on down the ground. Here's Crawford. Crawford hugs the boundary line, will bounce in. Mark Wheeler taking it over the line. So Keast again, he's dominated the ruck today. Comes down to Sam Edwards. Waltzes into goal and kicks it. Sam Edwards kicks a goal. He's first for the match. And the scoreline now is looking a little bit ugly for Cardiff, despite their endeavours all day. They've probably dropped the bundle a little bit in the last 10 minutes.
I may have a decision to make now for play of the day. That was a beautiful tap down by Keast to Sam Edwards on the run. And that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security.
Was a nice goal there. So under lights here at Newcastle number 1. 3 p.m. bounce today. Newcastle City will be second position after round 10. They'll be a couple of games behind Terrigal Avoca, but certainly look poised to challenge in September. That's certainly in the back, not paid. Ball bundles out. It's Jack Gillingham, I think, is it?
I think that was.
And he missed to the left on that occasion. So Metcalf, like that he started the day, he'll do the kicking in duties. Goes to himself. Chips it out there, but Cameron Keast.
Grab by Keast.
Such a great ruckman. Great athlete. Terrific footballer. Been called to play on now. Kicks in towards full forward. Maddox there for the Hawks. Courtney Knight did well to spoil. Not a bad snap round the corner, but it went straight up in the air. That was from Emerson Monk. It misses to the right. Kicked their fair share of behinds today, the Blues.
Yeah, it's been some pretty inaccurate kicking all day. I think that reads 14 goals 20 on the scoreboard, so very inaccurate.
14 goals 20. Is that right? Norton, centre half back. That'll do it. Full time here at number 1 Sports Ground. It will be Newcastle City 105 defeating Cardiff 64 in front of a really healthy crowd here. Pink day at Newcastle number 1. Could you run through the goal kickers for us, please, Nathan?
Of course I can. I was close with the margin prediction at the beginning of the game, 41 points. I predicted 45. But the goal kickers for Newcastle City, we've Courtney Knight leading the way with 5, and individual goals to Jack Gillingham, Connor Haswell, Sam Payne, Liam Carroll, Mitchell Knight, Paddy McMahon, Jacob Dorse, Sam Edwards, and Jackson Crawford. And for Cardiff, we have 3 goals to Trent Thompson and individual goals to Ben Julian, Kyle Walters, Nick Cochin, Jay Dalton, and Josh Jolliffe.
A $50 voucher for the Dachshund House will be going to which player for Play of the Day today?
I think I have to stick with my original prediction, and that was the original decision, and that'll definitely have to go to Trent Thompson's goal.
So Trent Thompson kicked a goal in the third quarter, beat a couple of players, kept his feet, and congratulations to him. He'll have $50 to spend at Dachshund House on Pork Knuckle and Steins. Just looking at some of the better players, thought Hugh O'Neill was good for Cardiff, as was Vukovic down back. Nick Koshin presented all day as well. Zach Metcalf was sensational, certainly one of their best. Jack Pratt was great as well, despite spending a little bit of time on the bench for being sent off. Across Newcastle City, they had a lot of great players though. Aaron Seam was great. Paddy McMahon was solid as well. Ian Baker down back. Thought Riley Lang was sensational. Both the Gillingham boys, but I'm going to give the $20 Subway voucher for best on ground today to the ruckman for Newcastle City, Cameron Keast. So Cameron Keast, congratulations to him. He'll get man of the match today. We'll catch you next week from Adelaide Street Oval. It'll be Killarney Vale taking on Newcastle City. Thanks a lot.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.